fans listening live around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Around the Table.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Round Table Wrestling. The table is a little short this week, but right now I will be serving as your esteemed host, Keith the Wild Man Miller, and with me is D'Lo Logan, David D'Lo Logan.
You about to call me D'Lo Brown again? Damn it!
I was, dude. It was so close, man. I was like D'Lo.
Oh my god, he's about to do it again.
Seconds away. And we've got a special interview that we're gonna do this week with the spine-shattering Spectre. So welcome, Spectre.
Excited to be here.
Excited to have you, man.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to here. Welcome to this shaky ass table.
The table is shaking, but it's all right, man. We'll put a matchbook under the leg. It'll be all right. One of the things that you're pretty well known for wrestling a hardcore style. But I think that one of the things that I notice is you get a lot of respect for your in-ring work on as well as that, you know. And there's a lot of hardcore wrestlers who just kind of come out and hit people with stuff and don't really do much other than, you know, weapons. And so how important is it to you to be well-rounded like that, to be able to have like a wrestling match and a hardcore match kind of sometimes in the same match?
Well, to me, it's very important to be well-rounded in general. I love to express myself through violence, and in that sense, there's so many different styles out there, and you have to be able to work all of them. But I do enjoy being the kind of guy that can take someone who is not necessarily a hardcore wrestler and have a good time just having fun with them in the ring in a hardcore style. And I think that that's part of the reason why I need to make sure that I know what I'm doing from a wrestling standpoint as well, so that when I come across those people who aren't hardcore wrestler styles or deathmatch styles, that we can blend and create an awesome show.
Right on, man.
Versatility is a big key thing. Always is. So, what is your best setting? You like doing the technical stuff? Or you like going hard?
Oh, well, he said it. He said it the way is hardcore. It's my sweet spot. I've done deathmatch. I enjoy deathmatch, but it's the hardcore spot that's the sweet spot for me. You know, I grew up a fan in the Attitude Era with my sister, and started, and I really enjoyed like the hardcore title matches, and I loved how messy the ring looked at the end of the show, with like all the weapons just, you know, all over the place in the corner and on the outside and everything like that. Like, it looks like someone's been through a war. And so I like that sweet spot. And growing up in the Attitude Era, I ended up some friends got me onto ECW, and ECW was I just loved that because it was hardcore matches all the time. And so I liked watching a lot of people from that, like the Sandman and RVD, and I find that sweet spot great. Yeah, like death matches are really cool, and sort of a, you know, they help you with that blood craving, and you know, you get to see some pretty gnarly stuff. But to me, it's a little harder to tell a story in deathmatch because we have or in my eyes, when I was a kid and I saw a death match, like, it didn't come off as too real to me that someone's holding like, say, like a sharp end of a light tube, and it's a death match, and they're just cutting their forehead. It's like, well, if they were actually in a fight, he'd be stabbing the crap out of him. So that's why I like the hardcore style, because it has that perfect medium where it's chairs like up to barbed wire and thumbtacks and that kind of stuff. Like it's a very creative way of doing things without exposing anything, I guess.
Yeah, I think people kind of took the FMW thing and turned it up like a million notches,
Yeah. Yeah,
since
I think big thanks to like Nick Mondo and stuff. Like Nick Mondo is the one who kind of like really turned deathmatch into a nice, a good spectacle of,
yeah,
and a good mix of wrestling and blood and gore.
yeah. Who was the other guy that softcore from CZW? Uh, I, yeah, there was a guy in CZW whose his gimmick was that he was softcore. He didn't do hardcore.
Oh,
And
Sounds
I
so
used to like
dirty.
watching this stuff
Sounds
too.
so
A little
dirty.
bit of comedy. Nick Burke, maybe.
maybe I don't know. I don't know CZW too well. Like I caught a little bit of it growing up, and then my trainer AR Fox was in
Oh, sure.
CZW, so I know
Mm.
his stuff from CZW, and a little bit
Yeah.
of Mike Bailey's as well. But
Okay.
CZW, I know more clips than I do actually know people in it.
Yeah, I grew up on the East Coast, so
Yeah, I was West Coast. I'm originally from Hobbs End. Once I got to a certain age, I left and went to Arizona to learn stunts.
oh, nice, nice.
Mm.
So,
That's good.
this, speaking of AR Fox and Mike Bailey, both got some pretty good TV time.
Yes, they did.
So good for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to him.
I'm loving
Yeah,
what they're doing with AR Fox now. I wish they do more,
yeah,
but I'm happy for him. I'm happy it's picking back up for him.
absolutely, man. If I was them, I would have made that match to a 6-man personally. Get him in the
Yeah,
ring. Oh, but
yeah,
hey,
yeah. I think that would have been great.
yeah. But I guess he was there to mess with Leo Rush, or Leo Rush was there to mess with him. However you want to look at it.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah, yeah. You know AEW storylines.
yeah, they're all over the damn place, dude.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not to get into criticizing AEW because we do that a little bit here, but um, I
Yeah.
have a
Well, I
whole
mean, I think AEW is there for certain people.
yeah.
But they got their fan base, and they also put together some pretty cool matchups that you wouldn't expect to see on
Yeah,
TV. And I think and I think no matter what your opinion of AEW is, AEW is still good for wrestling in general.
yeah, definitely. And my
Right.
whole thing is like it's strange to me because even when they have like they have good matches on there, but sometimes I can't make it through the show, and I still don't understand why. Like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to bed, but I don't get it. Like because I should be, I should be all into it, but
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I think
Right.
aside from like maybe Tony Storm,
yeah,
they don't really have much build up to anything, Like in
right,
Tony Storm, the build up is only just because her character is so good.
yeah,
But like they don't really do a lot of build up like WWE does, or what the general wrestling fan is used to. So like, you turn on the TV on Wednesday. I mean, they do some build up for the uh pay-per-views, but they
yeah.
don't really build up like, week by week
I'm
certain
weak.
matchups and stuff like that. So you're, again, like I said, you turn on the TV, you're like, oh cool, AR Fox versus Will Ospreay, and that's a great match to watch. But at the same time, we didn't get any like lead into it.
Yeah. I'm getting into Mark Davis. Like I'm really like his work is really good,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. I first
Mm.
time I saw him was when I watched AEW live when
yeah,
Fox was when they were in Atlanta. I watched it live, and that's my first time of seeing Mark Davis. I
yeah,
know Attitude Era like wrestling very well, and
right.
then for 20 years of my life I was busy doing other stuff, and then once I found wrestling, that now I'm sort of trying to catch back up and hear what everyone's opinions are over the last 20 years of who was good and all that, and study
Right.
as well.
Right. So I'm just going to say something about Mark Davis, then we'll get back to you.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So Mark Davis, they brought him out as like a guy who didn't really want to wrestle Will Ospreay. He was just doing it because of loyalty to Kyle Fletcher. And then it turned into he really doesn't like Don Callis. Now with nothing, he's all in. Like he's a bad guy now. And he's just interviewing and he's being their big muscle guy. And then he just lost clean to Hobbs. So it's all over the place. It's like you were saying, like the storyline is not linear. Like it all happened in the course of like 2 weeks. There's nothing. So yeah, that's the frustration with AEW, I think, more than anything.
Yeah. But again, some people just want to see those matchups and they don't really care about the story. And so that's why I say AEW's, there's certain people that it's maybe catered to more than me. I like to build storyline, and I like storytelling within the match as well.
Yeah, storytelling within the match is super important to me. Like that's why I like the NWA so much. They tell all their stories in the ring. I was so disappointed when they went to X, because I'm really not going to watch. I'm not really going to watch wrestling on X.
No,
Sorry,
I barely touched the app
cool.
too. Like I know I should, as a wrestler, I should be on it a lot more. But I like Instagram a little better. You can express your art a little better on Instagram.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you went to Arizona to pursue stunt work. How did you go from? Well, first of all, how long did that last? Then, second, how did you go from stunts to wrestling? Was it a jump from stunts to wrestling, or was there stuff in between?
There was it was just kind of a bit of a jump. So I went out to Arizona, being a horror movie fan growing up, and the town that I'm from, Hobbs End, is an evil town that you should never go to, and that's why I'm not going to tell you where it is. But I grew up having to fight off monsters within my own town. People would get possessed by monsters, and so I had to leave. And being a horror movie fan, I wanted to get out, get somewhere far away, and try to find my way into movies. So I went out to Arizona and was a Wild West stuntman for 4 years with they were formerly known as the Pinnacle Peak Pistoleros, but now they are the Pistoleros Wild West Show. And there I was, firing revolvers and falling off buildings and getting blown up. Sometimes accidentally, little fire would catch on fire a little bit. But it was quite an experience, and it was there since it was a live stunt show. It was there, and we were doing it 5 nights a week, 2 shows a night. At 4 years, I got a ton of experience with doing stunts in front of people, doing improv because we would interact with the crowd, and then practicing getting my body beat up because we bumped on dirt and asphalt. We didn't have we didn't have a platform or anything. It was just dirt and asphalt. And then once after about 4 years of doing that, I decided to move to Atlanta, Georgia, to pursue film. And once I got out here, then essentially got blacklisted for being too violent with the actors. So I had to find some sort of place within where I could express my violence and it would be appreciated. And so I found wrestling, and I asked them. I was involved in a wrestling film called The Marks that is, I think it's now on, it's like Fossum. It's on some sort of streaming service that's available. But yeah, no, I was a part of that. I played a wrestler, and it was that kind of sparked my interest because again, I was a fan as a kid and never really thought about it later. But when I was playing a wrestler and running around in the ring, I was like, this is kind of fun, and it kind of reminds me of my stunt work back in Arizona. So I asked the director, Joseph Lavender. I asked him about like, hey, is there wrestling schools I could go to with the intention of just training, and he pointed me out to the WWA four, and I went there, and Fox was very welcoming. Fox recognized that I was had done stunts, because in some of the stunts that we did in some of the fight scenes, we did do some wrestling moves like hurricane ranas and you know kind of like hip tosses and stuff like that. So Fox recognized that and sort of you know took me off from that and kept me going. He didn't pull me back and say like, hey, you relearn everything or anything like that. He just sort of saw what I could do, gave me the basics of wrestling, and then built off of that. And I'm very grateful for that. And honestly, I don't think if I'd gone anywhere else, I don't think I would have become a wrestler. I think I would have been like, this is cool, but you know, it never fully interested me. But with the way Fox did it and how much fun it was wrestling at the four, it was it was kind of inevitable that I just wanted to keep doing it.
Nice.
Like,
Hey, Dilo, you got any questions for Spectre, bud?
man. So when you started in Georgia, what was the mission there? Was a mission to get on the film, or was it just start the wrestling?
Well, yeah, I mean, wrestling did help out my film career. So I was wrestling for about 2 years in Georgia and Tennessee and Alabama, Florida, just kind of, running around with all my fellow WWA 4 people, just hopping in the car, having fun. And wrestling eventually got me onto Heels, specifically season 2. And I had the pleasure of doing that. And never did I imagine I would be on a set like that so early of moving out here. I thought it was going to take a while. But I do have wrestling to thank for that. And as well as Matt Griffin did help me with getting in there as well. But I ended up being on the whole season, season 2 of Heels, and that was such a great experience. I really hope there's a season 3. I don't know if they would ask me back for season 3, but either way, I think the show is great, and I think that it deserves to keep going with what they've been doing with it. But yeah, that was such a great experience, and it kind of opened my eyes to the fact that, hey, wrestling can give me an outlet to being into films. And so that's why I've kind of continued it as like a resume builder, and again, just sort of a way to have fun and entertain people through violence.
So when you were on Heels, did you do stunt work, or were you
No, I was just one of the I think I'm in either 6 or 7 of the 8 episodes, just as a wrestler in the background kind of thing. I did that with we had a good core of people that came in. We would sometimes it was like 5 days a week we'd come in and be doing stuff. But it was me, it was Ash Bennett, who's now up in the Northeast. Cornelius Pepperbottom of Exotic Youth was in it, and he got a cool scene with CM Punk. I mean, we all got to work with CM Punk and everyone there, but he got a specific scene that I thought they would cut it out, because when they were filming it, it was like just a funny little joke, but it was in there where Punk was talking about his outfit, and I know Pepper Bottom like really was a he's a CM Punk fan, so I thought that it was cool to see that special moment where they got to share the screen just with each other and everything like that. And then Jack Jameson, who's on Ring of Honor now and sometimes AEW, he was a big part of that too, and that's where I met him, and we hit it off there too. So a lot of good people to be around, and it was fun just to be able to show up, and even sometimes we'd show up and like be sitting there all day and they wouldn't use us, and you get paid for that, so it was a fun time. But whether they were using us or not, it was a great time, and definitely one of the coolest couple months of my life to be a part of that.
Nice. He was just an opener, I think, right, on Collision, Jack Jameson?
I think like
Maybe, I don't know. I know he does a lot of Ring of Honor, and he was with the Iron Savages, and now he's doing some sort of a frat house thing. But he's very talented, and he's a cool dude, and so of course whatever he's gonna do, like obviously he's been working with them for a long time and for good reason.
I'm pretty sure he just wrestled Omega.
He did? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh no, I don't remember that.
That's
I'm about to
that's
look at
big.
Hilo. Ask some questions, man. I'm about to see if this was the guy.
Yeah, if it was, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that if that happened, good for him.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna double check. Be right.
Cool.
out of all your matches, which one was your did you have any dream matches going in? Have you ever had any dream matches still left that you
Um,
want to accomplish?
I mean, again, because I was only a fan in the Attitude Era, like the people that I really like idolize in wrestling are mostly retired now, or they're like huge legends. You know, like my favorite growing up was and probably my favorite of all time right now is Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I mean, obviously, I'd love to wrestle him, but you know that's chances of that happening. Another one in my top three of all time is Rob Van Dam. I know he's still out there doing stuff, so if that could cross paths there, that'd be really, really awesome if I could do that. I recently had him like one of my reels, and that alone put me on cloud nine for months. So yeah, so I mean, uh, I honestly I really just enjoy working. You know, I like as long as people just want to have fun and entertain people. Like I'm willing to work anyone and and as many people as that want to work me. You know, if people want to work me, I feel uh, you know honored by that, and I would love to accomplish that with people.
Nice. Yeah, we all have different ways how we got started into liking wrestling, and some of us didn't really experience going into it. Were you
Mm.
nervous going into it? Like when you first from stunt
Actually,
to
no.
wrestling?
Like
Or no?
again, it's because of the stunt work that I did before. So I did the stunt work for 4 years, you know, in front of a live audience, and with that, the you know, wrestling's very much more freeform than what we were doing out there. Because out there, it was all about comedic timing. It was all about you know keeping your partners safe and all this. So we were we were paid to practice and get things down to perfection out there. And so it got to the point where it was, you know, you get things down so much that when a curveball is thrown your way, it was easy to figure out how to get it back. So when I started wrestling, I just came in the ring. I mean, like there was still like a process of learning how to wrestle, but I don't feel nervous having eyes on me anymore. You know, I felt nervous the first year of doing stunts, and then about a year in, it sort of went away. So I definitely don't have nerves when I'm in the ring, even if things are going wrong. Like I don't know. It's not a big deal to me. I also I also know my abilities and don't ever step outside them, you know, and not trying to talk crap, but like, you know, when Edge came off the top of the cage, you know, I was looking at that and I was like, you know, that's something that he didn't need to do and something that you could tell he wasn't the most comfortable doing. And so, like, I don't ever get to put myself in that position where I'm going to do something that is scaring me, you know. Um, so yeah, no, I do still get nervous, or I do still get like nerves when I'm in Gorilla just before my music starts hitting. So like I'll, you know, and it's part of it because like I just get into this mode when I'm wrestling, and when I'm in Gorilla, sometimes I'm like, you know, I get nervous that I can't find that mode. But then as soon as I step through the curtain, the nerves go away, and I'm locked in.
Yeah, so I just looked it up, and I do want to give the proper credit. It wasn't. It was Blake Christian
Okay.
who
And I've
wrestled
met
him.
Blake Christian before. He's a good guy.
Yeah. It was a good little match. Yeah. He was on a pretty big winning streak in Ring of Honor, I guess. And then Kenny Omega kind of put a stop to that on
Yeah.
a.
All right.
But
Naturally.
as you would.
Yeah, as but what was I gonna say? Yeah. Oh, so one of the things that kind of I remember in the '90s watching WCW Saturday Night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of power plant kids, and they all bumped super clean right in the middle of the ring,
Mm-hmm.
single one of them in every match. And I'm trying to remember where I was going to go with this because I was picking up off something that you said, and now I can't remember exactly where I was going to go because I thought about Blake Christian. But like so I like wrestling when it doesn't look perfect.
Yes, I
It was
agree.
when you said like things going wrong. I feel like WCW Saturday Night was fun because you got to see people you didn't see all that much. But the fact that every bump was perfect, clean in the middle of the ring used to really get on my nerves, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, sometimes when things go wrong, that's where the magic happens. You know.
Yeah. Oh, with 100%. Lots of matches I have where the best part of the match was not didn't go according to plan, and I think also that's one of the compliments I get in the ring from fans is that they feel like my matches are less of a show and they feel a little bit more real, and that's part of that is because like I don't think ahead on like what I'm gonna do, but when like I hit a big move, like a lot of wrestlers, they'll hit the big move, and if they're the face, they'll be like, they'll have the hands or they'll do the clapping, and I don't do that. I do what comes naturally, and sometimes it surprises me, but a lot of people, despite some of my matches even getting kind of silly, some of the people like will really recognize that it's more of that that it's coming from like within rather than it's like completely thought out.
Sure. I think one of the things that makes Io Sky so great is how well she thinks on her feet. Because with
Mhm.
all the stuff that she does, she's going to slip every once in a while or whatever, but she always recovers so well and turns it into something cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm a
mean,
big EO Sky fan for sure, and she's also someone who I would say like is a more natural entertainer in the ring. Like her in betweens feel like it's her rather than just like I said, like the whole come on crowd kind of thing.
yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, with it. So,
So, so, a lot of wrestlers, even if they're not under their civilian name, have a name that sounds like a civilian name, like Bianca.
Hmm.
You are the spine shattering Spectre. Like,
Hmm.
where did that come from? How did you find the Spectre? What did that name? Yeah, where did that persona?
Well, I'll give you a little tidbit I don't tell a lot of people, but it's actually my last name. It's spelled differently, but it's my last name. And
Interesting.
so going through high school, I was called Spectre all the time, and then ever since I got out here in Georgia, in order to get people to before I was a wrestler, in order to get people to remember me better, I was like, well, I'm going to go back to being called Spectre. And then, when I started wrestling, I didn't really have a character in mind or anything like that when I started wrestling, but I went with Spectre because it's a cool name and it's my last name and it works really well. And then as I was wrestling it, people seemed to like it a lot, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna stick with it.
Nice, nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was a kid out here when I was promoting, and his name is Stetson Winters, and he wanted to use a gimmick name, and it was
Stetson Winners.
yeah, it was like super boring. It was like John Taylor or something like that. And I was like, dude, your name is Stetson Winters. Just use your name.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one, I'd say.
Yeah,
that's what it's up.
man. So, and then other people were like, yeah, we've been telling him that for ever since he was started training. But I guess since I was a promoter, he actually like listened to me, and now he is Stetson Winters, and it's much better
Plus,
than
Yeah,
plus you don't run into the any of the what do you call it, like if he gets signed somewhere, they can't steal his name because it's his actual name.
Yeah, for sure. He's should be
Right.
stepping forever.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Um, D'Lo, you got anything, brother? Trying to
So
keep
you
you
love to
involved.
break signs. Love to break signs and we hear Spectre.
Yeah.
And have you ever loved? Do you love the sound of it going, or you love it when
Yeah,
it goes?
it's a nice thick one because spines are you break an arm here and there, it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of like a little twig, but like a snapping spine can be heard throughout the entire woods as like the largest tree breaking, basically. So, and spine shattering came when I figured out my finisher, which I call the Screamorama, which is a power bomb lung blower, um, inspired by Teddy Hart. So yeah, and I that's my main finisher. I have two other finishers, but that's the one that I love to do, and I do pretty well, in my opinion.
I like the one
Nice.
with the head scissors. When you're in the ropes, when they're head scissors and you spike them down in the face. I like that one. I like that one.
I call that one Foxhound.
I like that one.
That one was inspired by my trainer AR Fox. He did a similar thing. I do it in my own way, but yeah, I saw a video of him doing that move a while back, and I sort of took it from him.
Hey,
Nice.
that's all right. And
That
then
my boss son.
Hmm.
Hey. But
yeah, go ahead, bro.
I would say, from your end, do you have vision of like doing this more like getting changes more in the future, or do you have more of trying to just build yourself up and keep going in this? Winning.
I'm more of the again. I like the whole entertaining aspect of it. I like having a crowd get emotionally invested in my matches, and I usually like enjoying like having them either like with a big smile on their face watching my match, or shocked. I just like getting reactions out of crowd. So like I'm not really looking to do WWE, AEW. I mean if they throw a contract my way, like I'm not going to argue with money, but I'm
Yeah.
doing this.
Right.
It's more of like a personal journey, alongside my journey with film, and I again I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it for the crowd, and I enjoy um, working with good opponents, and making sure that we have a great time together. And so yeah, so I'm kind of just doing this. And the other thing is I'm 35 years old, so to think like
Mhm.
and I've been wrestling for 4 years, but to think that like that I'm someone that WWE wants to bring in or anything like that, I'm accepting of the fact that that's not necessarily going to be the case. And so I'd rather, if I were to say go over for WWE or AEW, I'd probably have a different character. But what I like is, since I'm not doing that, I'm working with a character that I like, a character that feels um, that's like my creative and that I'm building and everything like that, and no one's gonna really tell me what to do with my character. I love taking advice from a wrestling standpoint, but if you're gonna try and tell me to change my character, then you might lose me, is what I'll say, because I
Mhm.
like what I do, and a lot of people do apparently too.
It's good. It's good. Good. Love for the gay man.
Hmm.
Yeah, D'Lo kind of took my question because I was thinking like with TNA and Evolve and AEW has always kind of looked into the to the indies. I mean TNA too, but it seems like TNA has really uh, signed quite a few wrestlers lately.
Yeah,
Indies. It seems like there's a lot more opportunities for independent wrestlers now than there has been in a long time.
yeah, I
Um,
think so. Yeah,
yeah, I was going to ask you what your thoughts were about that, but you kind of D'Lo kind of already answered. But I
Mhm.
want to get my question out there anyway.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
Hey.
I didn't even think of TNA. I feel like if I were, I feel like TNA is probably like the place that if I were to sign anywhere, it would probably be there. But again, I'm not. It's not something I'm like actively going after. But I wouldn't mind working with them either.
yeah, I know some people who've either had TNA contracts or have them currently. And the cool thing about TNA is you can take indie bookings and you get a substantial boost in pay because you go through their booker most of the time. Like it used to
Yeah.
be. Uh, I think it used to be Bill Barons. I don't know if he's still doing it, but
Hmm.
Bill Barons was booking people for him for quite some time. And yeah, I mean it's a cool thing. You get to be on TV and work with some of the best wrestlers in the world, but then you can still go out to Atlanta and work in front of your hometown crowds. You know, if
Yeah,
that's
exactly. So that's why I would say like TNA fits the bill most if I were to sign anywhere because I would have the freedom to still do what I wanted to do outside of that, you know.
yeah,
But again, I can't argue if there's a lot of money being thrown my way by either company, but that's
yeah,
just something I'm not really. That's not something I expect, but no, I'm just having fun out here and putting on a show.
yeah. And I don't know if you've seen Evolve or not, but it's run. As at least as far as the way that present it, they present it like an indie show. Like it's shot in the performance center.
Hmm.
Uh, so there's
You're
not
talking
room.
about the new Evolve, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
not the old one.
yeah. The WWE Evolve.
Yeah.
There's a couple hundred people in there, maybe. You know, it's very intimate. Like it's an interesting thing for WWE to be doing. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, and I'm
cool.
I'm happy to see my friend Sean Legacy in there.
Oh, they're pushing him.
Because Sean's someone that like once he got well prior to him getting WWE ID, I'd be telling him I'm like, man, you are the whole package. Like you're like he was my pick for Georgia Wrestler of the Year last year, and then sure enough, he got tagged for the ID, and I'm just really happy for him because he's someone who's got the look, got the ability to cut promos. He's got great fan interaction. He's got strength and athleticism. He's just the whole package. And so I think I'm happy that they tagged him, and I really hope that he can go on with and do bigger things with them too, because that yeah, without a doubt, whole package right there for it. He's got the body, he's got everything.
Yeah, dude, him and Timothy Thatcher just tore it up, man.
Oh yeah,
That
and
was
Thatcher's great. Thatcher's a great worker too, man. I've seen him work in
yeah,
person too.
that's just ridiculous. So yeah, that was the main event on Evolve, the last show on Wednesday, and man,
Oh, I'll
I
have to
think
look at it then.
yeah, it was good, dude. It was super good, such a good match. Um, but yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up and get to the news. I don't know if you want to stick around for the news, but before we end the interview, I just wanted to ask, what are your goals? Like we talked about it a little bit, but what are your goals as far as wrestling or film or whatever? Where do you see the Spectre going in the future?
Well, ultimately, once wrestling is done with me, I'm a big horror film fan. I've been writing scripts since I was 20, so about 15 years of practice, and so at some point, I do want to. Become a writer director for horror films, and I've done a lot of acting, and so I don't mind acting, but I do want to create for film. In a horror fashion. So at when wrestling's all done, that's where I'm definitely going to be putting all my energy towards. I'm still putting it there as well, but I'm evening it out with wrestling because I'm still having fun with wrestling. Wrestling, there's a lot of personal goals that I've had. That I've actually achieved, and it's kind of funny because again, I like being a film guy and not really like coming in as a wrestling mark or a wrestling fan. um, my goals were very simple. So like when I started wrestling, it was like uh, I started in 2021 at in January, and my goal was to have a legit wrestling match by the end of the year. And by the end of the year I had like 79 wrestling matches. So so my goals kept like they were getting crushed because I just I didn't expect it to be like this. I had a goal of like, oh well, I'd love to use thumbtacks in a match, and like 4 months in, I've achieved that, and now I've had, I don't know, 20 different matches with thumbtacks involved. And I wanted to have a death match and try that out, and I luckily got the opportunity to do that with Nathan Mowry, who's one of the best death matchers out there. but at the same time, screw that dude.
Okay.
And his Blood and Honey. I'll throw a pitch out there. Yeah. I don't know if you know of the Blood and Honey series he's been doing down here.
Mm-mm.
He brought Deathmatch to Atlanta. We've been doing. Um, he did a 3 episode series towards the end of last year. That was a great cards, great storylines. You can check it out on his YouTube, Blood and Honey episodes 1, 2, and 3, and he's planning on returning Blood and Honey in June. So, but those involved. He fought John Wayne Murdoch in that one. Um, we had Lindsay Snow coming through, and then we just had some really cool. I had an intergender barbed wire match with Ravenna Vane that was a pretty awesome match as well. So yeah, I think Nathan did a great job with Blood and Honey, but the opportunity to work with him as a death match, like as my first death match, was awesome because he also wanted to be a storyteller, and I think we had a really good first death match for me. And then he's off now. He's off doing death matches with Matt Tremont. He had a crazy good one with Hoodfoot, and he's becoming a death match icon now, and I love that for him.
Dude, so getting a little personal because you brought up Hoodfoot. We don't talk a ton anymore, but my daughter passed away a few years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, man.
Thanks, man. It was right before her 18th birthday. Hoodfoot was the only person who called me.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people sent messages and said they were sorry or whatever. Hoodfoot actually called. So
Oh, that's awesome to hear that he's that kind of guy. I mean, I've met him in passing, and never had any issues with him. Seemed like a great guy, but Nathan has nothing but like great stuff to say about him. So it
great guy.
doesn't surprise me that he's that kind of guy.
All the success that he gets, man.
Mhm.
He deserves it. I gave him his first main event against Zodiac, and
Hell yeah.
yeah, dude, I'm super happy for him, man, and he's a great dude.
Yeah, if you
So,
didn't see, I mean, if you can stomach it, him versus Nathan Mowry was one of the craziest death matches I've seen. They got pretty bloody in that one down at it was either ICW or TWE. It was at the TWE arena, so I can't remember if it was ICW or TWE. But yeah, if you're okay with blood and gnarliness, that's an awesome match to watch.
what's bad is the spike
Exactly.
thing.
What was that?
The spike thing that they just did with Moxley.
Oh yeah.
That was, dude.
Did you ever go through that?
Like, I didn't even mind when they hit him with it, but when they were pulling it out and his skin looked like it was gonna come off with the spikes, like that
That was rough. I also thought the spikes were fake until that point.
definitely were not, dude.
Well, when he hit him in the
Can't
stomach,
fake
I'm
them
like, oh
spots.
well, like it didn't look like it cut him up or anything. And then sure enough, he gets up. I'm like, oh yeah, those are real.
Yeah, those are real. Yeah, that was wild, man.
Yeah, that was wild.
For TV too, like,
Yeah,
oof, man.
yeah,
On the
that's it.
snow.
Yeah, and that's AEW's got their, you know, they throw in a little bit of everything, and it's sometimes awesome, sometimes it can just kind of feel a little cluttered, but I think that moment was pretty cool. Like it shocked me. I think it shocked a lot of other people.
I'm pretty sure it shocked everyone.
Yeah,
That guy,
It shot everybody.
but yeah.
yeah.
That was
You
just,
got anything you want to ask? Final question.
I would say it was nice having you here, my guy. But and I like the hoop discussion. You say I like the last move you did a frost splash. You did a splash. What would you a windmill? Where'd you get that inspiration from? I seen that.
Yeah.
That too.
I've only hit that a couple times, but
I
yeah,
seen that.
I do
I
a
was
windmill
creative.
splash, and that is based off of my favorite basketball player growing up, Vince Carter.
Ooh, the
So
insanity.
yeah,
I like it.
as I was coming up, I had the Vince Carter shoes when I played ball, and all I wanted to do was growing up was to dunk. And I mean, I got to that point where I could. I wasn't doing anything like that. I was just kind of getting it up there and throwing it down.
Right.
But yeah, no. Vince Carter was a big hero of mine growing up. Just the swagger of all the dunks that he could do, and so. And since I was a basketball player, I was like, hey, I might as well do a splash and give it something that you don't normally see. So I just threw my arms in the windmill motion and connected. I think that was on Travis 3000 that I hit that move, and yeah, it was a fun time. Made a little uh, Space Jam, a reel of it with like the Space Jam song going. So it was real fun and tribute to my younger basketball self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, we were going to wrap it up, but let's keep talking for a minute. My son, we were talking before he came on the air. He's a basketball player. He's 10.
Yeah.
And he, with everything that goes on now, he still says Vince Carter is the best in-game dunker of all
That's
time.
facts.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't see anyone
facts.
beating
Big
that
facts.
right now. I mean, I
Yeah.
see people that might be more athletic and might get higher than him, but
Yeah.
like the creativity he had for his time was out of this world. And then like you don't see people off the backboard windmill dunking it or even the stuff he was doing in college. Like he was just insane. And the amount of posters he's had, I don't know if we'll ever see anyone jump over a 7 foot plus guy, like clean over him and dunk, in game. Like maybe in the dunk
Clean.
contest, but not in game like that.
I
Right.
mean, I also, Sean Kemp and Dominique, were
Oh yeah,
both.
Sean Rain Man. I'm a big Rain Man fan. Rain Man was a hard dunker. Like he was, breaking rims. It seemed like.
Like, yeah. And that was,
And
to me,
Blake.
I mean, that's part of, being a good in-game dunker. Like, you got to slam it home, man. Don't let
Yeah,
him chance to block you.
there
Yeah, be
isn't
like Blake
really.
Griffin, throw it in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blake Griffin too. There isn't really right now in the NBA. Like, I mean, you look at the dunk contest. Like, there isn't really anyone who's you're just like that's the dunker. I will say though, the guy from Michigan State, Carr is his last name. I don't remember what his first name is. He looks like he could be just a crazy dunker.
Yeah.
He can get up really
Huh.
high, and he's had a great March Madness filled with
It's
dunks.
fitting.
Right.
So hopefully he gets picked up somewhere, and then we can see him in the dunk contest sometime.
It's
Yeah.
fitting. Michigan State playing right now.
Yeah, yeah, he could go right now, even if he's
Yeah,
no,
playing
it's
right now. Fitting.
without a
Yeah.
doubt.
But, yeah. Man, we might as well talk about basketball for a second. Why not? We do it
Yeah,
we do it off the show all the time.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's guys, Russell Westbrook, especially for being 6'3",
Mhm.
man, and John Morant, those guys. But yeah,
John
none of
Morant, John Morant surprises me, like his ability to dunk too, just because he's got such a smaller stature and he can still posterize people.
yeah, it's pretty sick.
Mhm.
But yeah, I still feel like those Dominique, Sean Kemp, and Vince Carter, best in-game dunkers of all time.
Yeah. I mean, and if you want to compare it to wrestling, it's like back then they came up with stuff, and now because they came up with it, it's hard to find something that is new and creative in dunking. But
Right.
there's you just gotta have fun with it. I think. I think it's just like wrestling. Like you can take what people have done in the past and you can alter it to make it even cooler. And so I'm hoping that yeah, I'm a big in my opinion, the most electrifying like single thing that can happen in any sport is a slam dunk. Like
Yeah, fair.
slam dunk gets everyone on their feet, gets everyone excited. Even if like the team's down a whole bunch or up a whole bunch, like like
Yeah,
there's nothing else like like a hockey goal is awesome, but like at the same time, sometimes you don't even know if it went in the goal or not. Stuff like that. Touchdown, it's exciting, but only under certain circumstances is it really like overly exciting. A slam dunk every time is always, at least to me, is just always gets you fired up. So
It
that
will.
guys like Gary Payton and Ron Harper steal the ball.
yeah,
Ooh, man, how did they do that? Like, where does
yeah.
hand go? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, as a good defender, it's all about. I like to stay in front of people, and uh, I know you mentioned your son plays basketball. I don't know if he knows this trick because nowadays with YouTube, there's so many like people out there throwing out crazy tricks, and I'm not gonna say whether they're right or wrong, but it's like what I when I was learning, there's like basic stuff that I still use that helps me out, even at my old age. I can play defense on younger guys because I know to watch their hips. They don't go
Hmm.
anywhere without their hips. So you just stay
Hmm.
in front of their hips and you can get in front of them. But yeah, I mean it's all about watching the ball, watching how they dribble, and then if you're quick enough, you can get in there before in between dribbles, you can get that steal. It's yeah.
Actually, that's what I used to do when I played.
Yeah.
I'm super good at like just sliding my hand in and like taking the ball right out in between the dribble, but it's so hard.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we getting
yeah. Well,
tight.
I mean, if the person knows what they're doing, they'll always have like their leg or their body in between the ball and you when they're
Yes.
moving around.
Yep.
But a lot of times, sometimes they'll be looking around at the play or something, and that's the opportunity to just
Yeah.
even if you
I
just touch it a little bit, it gets them off, and then you can get that steal.
Yeah, it's funny that you said you just stay in front of people and watch their hip, but I actually used to like to come up behind people and
Hmm.
take from them while they were dribbling because they wouldn't expect it.
Like the sweep around.
Yeah. Like just slide it in and take it. Yeah.
The
That's how
wrap
I.
around.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to say, if you ever did that on me, I'd go right by you.
Oh, I'm
I had too many people trying to do that to me back in the day,
sorry, but
and honestly, a lot of kids do it nowadays, and it's funny because uh, I'm not nearly as athletic as I used to be, but I literally can dribble, and if I'm watching them reach, it's like, oh, I'm going right by you,
yeah,
like
for
you got to know when to reach, and a lot of kids just try to reach without knowing the proper time to reach, and then sure
sure. Yeah.
enough, easy layup.
We used to when
That's
I
no
was in college,
secret.
we used to go play at the park all the time,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean you'd be playing against all different kinds of people. Like I'm not saying I was awesome or anything, but I was definitely a good defender at the very least down at the park. So
It is very overlooked when you're a good defender. Like, and I think
It
it
is.
is something that's very very good. B- Being from Arizona, I'm a Arizona Wildcats fan, and
like
and
dude,
and we had a great game against Duke, but obviously Duke is just too good. But we had both KJ Lewis and Toby Waka, both great defenders, and I think that they were big parts of why we got to the Sweet 16 like we did and put up a fight against Duke. So defense is very, very much overlooked. Uh, and again, that's also why I like college basketball a little bit more than the NBA because the NBA is not really no one's really playing that hard of defense because to be honest, you're gonna expend a lot of energy, and more than likely the player's gonna make a shot anyways. So I don't blame him for not really playing it too much in the NBA. But that's why I like watching college because there is more of a chess game with defense and offense than in the NBA.
yeah, and I'm not saying like people should be doing it, but the defense in the '90s, nowadays everybody has $1 million contracts, and
Hmm.
that's why you don't see people, you know,
No.
you don't see the hard
That's it.
fouls. You don't see,
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. I never thought of the fact that like everyone's got much bigger contracts now.
well, yeah,
Right.
I can't remember who it is, but there's a player who didn't want to play center because it was a physical position. He didn't want to hurt himself.
Yeah, I
That's
forget. I
crazy.
think I maybe saw it.
He was on a talk
Kind of like
show and
some
he
Paul George
was
thing.
telling the guy he was 6'10", and the guy broke out a ruler and was like, "You're 7 foot," because he was like, "Gotta play center." Like
Oh, it was Kevin Durant, wasn't it?
it might have been Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I think Kevin Durant was supposed to play center, and he was like no, and wanted to be a forward instead. I think that's if I remember.
Yeah, that could have been because he would have a big contract, so that makes perfect sense. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, he was on the talk show saying, he didn't want to get banged around down in there. That wasn't what he did. And like, I'm like, yeah, you don't want to get hurt, dude.
yeah. Well, and
Like,
he also don't really do much as far as like muscle building, so I
yeah,
can understand that one for him. But
I couldn't remember if it was Kevin Durant or if it was Anthony Davis, but I know Anthony Davis plays center. So
Yeah. I think
He
it was
don't
Kevin
like
Durant.
that.
They were going to
He
have him
like
play
power
center for
forward.
the USA team, is what it was. I think.
okay, right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Right
if
on.
I recall, I'm not positive though, but yeah, it's an interesting era. Like I said, I grew up in the '90s watching Jordan get destroyed by the bad boys or the Knicks. Like everyone was going hard at each other, and that's kind of what I grew up playing too. Like very, you know, like a lot of people nowadays, you go in, you throw up a shot, out foul. Like I would want to drive in, and I would like if you fouled me, I would want to try to go through the foul and get the bucket. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people nowadays are pulling the LeBrons where they're and falling over.
Lot.
One of the games that we played earlier in the season, um, there was a guy driving to the basket, and he was clearly going to get the bucket. And I mean, a kid, obviously, these are 9 and 10 and 11-year-olds. But
Mhm.
my son fouled him on the way up,
Oh
and I
yeah,
I yelled, "Good foul!" I was the coach, and the coach
yeah.
of their team was like, "They're playing dirty, ref. He told them to do that." I didn't tell him to
Oh,
do
no.
that. I just thought it was a good foul.
He didn't. Yeah, no, he didn't throw a punch. Yeah, no, you like, especially if they're at the hoop and they're and you know that they're especially like at that age too. They're not a good free throw shooter most likely. So
Exactly.
it's a smart play.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But like, man, that coach was pissed. I was
Not
like,
my
sorry, man.
kid.
I think I wasn't trying to have my son beat your kid up. I just
Yeah.
thought it was
No.
a good foul. you
No, it
know,
sounds like it. And like I said, at that age, they're probably shooting like 40% from the line
for
at
sure.
best.
Yeah.
Man.
And then, of course, my son was like, I didn't foul him because he's freaking showman. So he's just
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about? I'm like, hey, Casey, that's too much. but
Absolutely.
yeah, man. So if people are looking for you on the internet, where can they find you? Where can they find your stuff?
The biggest place I post all my stuff is Instagram. My Instagram tag is at spine underscore shatter underscore spec, and you can typically find me. I mean, if you're in the Atlanta area, I'm always at A4 on Thursdays. I may not always wrestle, but I'm usually helping out, or I'll be wrestling. Um, Promotions that I work, Blood and Honey with Nathan Mowry is coming back in June. Tomorrow I'll be in Athens with Classic City Wrestling. We will be doing a wrestling show before the Athens Rock Lobsters hockey game, and so we'll be doing a show up there. Classic City Wrestling to me is my favorite promotion throughout Georgia. They they typically run out of the 40 watt in Athens, Georgia, and the last 8 or 9 shows we've sold out there. It's a great environment. And it's also a show that incorporates music with wrestling. They always bring in a rock band,
Ooh,
and the band will play before, during intermission, and then sometimes they'll have the band play during a match, and it's a pretty cool experience too.
great.
And it's kind of a good switch up for the card. But it's a good time, and that's why they keep selling out, and I love that one. And then down in Florida, I work with USWA. I don't know if we haven't run a show down there for a while, but hopefully we hopefully they do, because I did love that show down in Florida as well, and all the fans down there. So
Classic
yeah.
City. What's the promoter's name down there?
What was that?
What was the promoter's name down in Classic City?
Classic City. It's Justin Legend.
Okay. A buddy of mine used to help out with a company down south that was Classic something or other, but I'm not sure if that's the one.
What was his
Um,
name?
James McCarver. His gimmick is Hobo Joe, but he reffed a little bit and didn't
Oh,
really.
okay, yeah, he's not a part of that one. That
Oh,
one's Cole and Justin, and they do a great job. And what I love about that promotion too is they stay out of the wrestling business drama. They just want to put on a good show. And so, in Georgia, there's a big circle of drama that happens with almost all the shows, and everyone's trying to, you know, navigate that. and Classic City just wants to do the rock and the wrestling and have a good time, and that's why I love that one. That's why I love that one the most in Georgia.
Awesome, man. Yeah. There's unfortunately everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start talking about the news. Like I said, if you want to stick around, go ahead and stick around. If not,
No, I think I'll head out, and I think I'll just go ball. I'll go ball out for you guys.
yeah, have fun, man.
Hell yeah,
All right.
go hoop, man. I got a hoop too.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
All right.
See you, Spectre.
Thanks for the invite.
Talking.
Have a great
Absolutely.
day.
It was good having you.
Yeah, see that.
All right, man.
All right, there we go.
That was cool, dude. I didn't dominate it too much, did I? I'm so used to interviewing people. I tried to step back as much as I
It
could.
was good. It was good. It was good. It was good conversation. We talk about
It was
everything.
good. You asked him about specific moves and stuff like.
Yeah, I had to do some late quarterbacking because I wasn't really hip on it, so I had to see some moves, and he had
Yeah,
some cool moves. He
it's
had a
like
cool move set.
matches right now. That's what I was thinking.
Right, that's why I had to watch a couple of matches and see how he do. So it's good. His match was good. So I like the one the hardcore ones. It was good.
Yeah. I've watched his stuff before. He's good, man, for sure.
Yeah,
Like I said in the beginning, he's got a really good hybrid style. He doesn't just do, hardcore stuff. Even in hardcore matches, he puts wrestling in it. So pretty
I
dope.
like that. He has a good mix in his style, but
Yeah.
we don't get in this news. We only got 6 topics, 7 maybe, couple topics.
Couple things. So what are you thinking about Paige leaving AEW and then was she on Booker's podcast where she was talking about it, or was it Bubba Ray?
I think it was Bubba. I think it was. It may have been. But
I know she went on a podcast that's kind of affiliated with WWE and was on there talking about it. So
yeah, she's talking about how it's about to be over for her. Like it's nearing the end. And she's talking about maybe retiring or coming back. Would you like the Page comeback?
that's what I'm wondering. Like,
I
would people?
wouldn't
Do you
mind.
think she wants to finish up in WWE, or do you think she wants to go home to England? Like, what do you think? What are you thinking?
I think finishing up and like just to tie up loose ends, like finish up some plot holes and then hop over across the pond, mate, and cherry on down with her folks. So I think that could go down.
Yeah, her and AJ. Maybe this will finally bring AJ back.
I know. We're gonna have them running back.
Get their AJ that they've been wanting for years.
I know. It'll be a decade in the making, but hey, you'll love it.
AJ and Saraya can lick each other's faces.
Yeah, speaking of AEW, is there a alleged baker or dentist could be out the door soon? A dentist?
Man, I don't know, man. It's been coming, dude. They've been talking about it off and on for a while now.
Yeah, last time we saw Britt was when Serena D, her and Serena was about to go at it, but it's like no one cares, and then we ain't see her. That's the last time we saw her.
Right.
And we even been MIA. We haven't heard anything from her. And then we see on the IG that her AEW's not even in the bio.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like any other relationship, you know what I mean? When I'm like, hey, did they break up? If it's not in the Bible anymore,
Are you still here?
Yeah, what's going on? What is going on? I guess we'll see, but just like Jamie Hayter, until it's official, don't believe it.
Or
she's wrestling in the main event this week.
right.
So don't believe everything
against Queen Aminata.
Yeah, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Internet lies.
Man, that will always be undefeated with their lies. But some of you ain't got no lies on TNA. They got let go of 4 people: Ariel Scherner, Rob Klingon, Michael Schwencheko, and the biggest surprise, Gail Kim.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw Steph DeLander's tweet, but she said, TNA, what are we doing? Obviously, Yeah, you got someone like Gail Kim in the back helping produce women's matches and stuff like that. I mean, the weird thing is, so from what I read, and obviously the internet, but her and one of the guys, one of the other producers, were constantly arguing, and it was causing a division amongst the people in the back. So they just got rid of everybody that was involved. Rather than
Damn.
sort it out, they just fired all four of them.
Well, now it's like y'all can't get along like children. We'll treat you like children. Get out of here.
Out of here. Go to your room
Go to
without.
your room. Go to yours. You go somewhere and you go somewhere else. We're not
Man,
arguing about it no more.
yeah.
Damn.
I'm wondering, like, WWE has who do they have down at NXT working with the girls? Is it still Finley? I'm not even
I
sure.
think like family. I know Sean be working the girls trying to
Oh
sing them
yeah,
on out.
the chef is cooking. The chef is cooking.
Oh yeah, he cook alright. He like him thick.
But
But yeah.
yeah, I don't know where Gail Kim could end up. She's not going to wrestle. I don't even think she's interested. So
Right.
you
But
know,
we gotta keep bringing in either locker room, shit, either or, because she's known and she gonna give you experience. She gonna give you a lot of tips for the ladies.
right? Exactly. She
Speak
definitely knows how to wrestle. You know,
definitely. And speaking of tips, I tipped Alberto Del Rio Patron to not throw chairs. This
man,
man got banned from Tijuana wrestling, not Mexico, Tijuana.
wanna the
Because
whole freaking city.
someone
Wanna.
threw an ice. For ice? Really? For
He threw
ice, bro?
ice.
Yes. Ice was thrown in his direction. It hit him. He had a moment. Threw a chair at him. Said, And it didn't even hit the person. It hit an elderly woman. Really?
Man.
Oh,
So
man.
so not only did he overreact, he can't hit, he can't aim.
All right. Come on, bro.
Ah,
Got good at baseball down there. I don't know how you ain't got no accuracy. Come on, Pico. What's going on?
man.
And I
Dang.
think they
So
had like 6 months, 6 to 8 months. So
it's not a forever ban. It's just a. It's like it's like you got to cool out, man.
yeah, temporary. Take it down a few notches. Just relax.
Right on.
Man. Speaking of relax, I think we have a new I think we have a new WrestleMania streak, man. We have a new
Yeah,
WrestleMania streak.
it's Logan Paul.
No, but he is close to
Yeah.
entertainment though.
Yeah.
The Weekend, he gets another WrestleMania song. This is the 6th straight year in a row he has a WrestleMania song.
Okay.
I'm with it. I'm like, all right.
I like the weekend, man.
He's the
You
great.
know?
I like keep it up,
Yeah,
and he
he
keeps
can
the streak
sing, dude.
alive.
I'm with it. Good for him.
Oh yeah, we can keep your streak alive. You're the
Yeah, just don't
Undertaker.
sing it. Just don't sing it at the show, man, because nobody wants to hear that. It's funny because we just had the Spectre on talking about combining wrestling and bands, but at WrestleMania, people want to see the wrestling. They ain't there to hear Lil Wayne or The Weeknd.
I remember back in the day, you said at a concert at least they felt like a little bit with like entrance.
Yeah. See, that's different. If you're playing the song while the wrestlers walk into the ring, that's fine. But if they're just like, Joy, please welcome Eris, the recording artist, your mama, and then freaking some
Right.
band plays some stuff, like, yeah, nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody cares, man.
But let's keep on WrestleMania week, and we have new Hall of Fame inductions. We had the Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon. They have made their way south in the Hall of Fame. They're
Yeah.
not the only ones.
Yeah.
Stone Cold, damn it, and Bret Hart. They're gonna induct matches in this mix.
Yep.
They're the
Immortal
first
moments.
one. So,
Yep.
and do you see any more matches coming down the pipeline soon, or do you think they'll
Man,
just do one and keep it up?
I mean, there's so many. I hope. Well, we were talking about this out of the off the air, but I hope that this is a whole new wing, man, where it's not
Right.
just matches, but great moments that have been a part of wrestling. You know,
Like rivalries too.
yeah, All of it. They have a show called Rivalries. They have a show called I think it's called Oh My God, where they show great moments. Like why
Right.
not? It's all a part of what made wrestling what it is today. Um, and I don't know if you saw this, but John Tenta's son signed or no, not John Tenta's son. I'm sorry, Crush's son signed a
Mm.
Legends contract.
I think I did see that. Mm.
Yeah, so Crush is a legend now, and apparently they did it so that he can get inducted with Demolition.
That's
So
good. I guess.
talked about that. We talked about whether all three
Hey,
of them go in, and it looks like all three of them are going to go in. So that's
that's good.
yeah, it's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good stuff,
So
man.
nice.
But
That's
yeah,
nice way to roll around.
I
Yeah, they,
love.
they should include a lot of matches. They gonna
Yeah,
include like, of course, that kind of ones Hogan and Andre. Even though Hogan is Hogan, but he had an iconic moment. We can
they
acknowledge
still
that
show that
a little
American
bit.
commercial every week.
It's made for the young guys like Keith and everybody below in his age range. Right. But
Hey,
yeah, I like to get some more rivalries into it. Bring some matches that maybe not remembered as usual, but were impactful in the certain superstars' career. So,
yeah, I mean, Savage and Steamboat again from WrestleMania 3 has to go
right.
in. I feel like the ladder match
Yeah,
between Shawn and Razor has to go in. The first one,
yeah, you see
Um,
that. I can see Triple H and Rock going in there, one their I think that ladder match too. I see.
yeah,
So who
maybe
they
when
going?
Luger
Oh,
and Bret Hart both won the Royal Rumble, and then Yoko had to defend the belt against both of them, because that's the first time, I believe, the first time anybody wrestled twice at
mm,
WrestleMania, other than the tournament. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it was a 2-night WrestleMania. I don't know if it might have even been no, it was one match was at the beginning of the card and one match was at the end.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the first time the WWF World Title was ever defended twice. Might be the only time. You
Yeah, I
know?
think that might be the only time. I can't
Yeah.
recall that ever happening.
Yeah.
And that
So
WrestleMania, right? Yeah. So
that's a big
shout out
deal.
Yokozuna.
Yeah.
Who
I
knew
wonder
it'd
if
be the big fella doing double duty when he
heck
gets
yeah.
over? Yeah.
I
Shout out to
mean,
Yoko.
everybody got screwed at the end by Hulk Hogan.
All right. Fuck. All right. Like it all ended up in the Hogan chant.
All ended up being for Hogan. All you dudes, congratulations on working hard, but guess what? I'm back.
Hogan was the original Money in the Bank contract.
Man, he was too.
He was.
Yeah, he came out, he was like, I'm doing it. This
Like
is happening for America. And Bret Hart was like, I'm Canadian, but go do whatever you're gonna
they take a whole vast moment to say, "Hey, I'm
do.
cashing in, damn it."
It's like everybody's moment. Yoko wrestling twice, Bret Hart getting robbed,
And then the
Took
perfect
Bret Hart's
plex,
rematch.
Luger.
Yep. Took Bret Hart's rematch, freaking all of it. Took it all.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, man.
But
That,
we get some new. Last bit of news on the wrestling tip is we have a new SmackDown announcer, Mark
right.
Shunock, or is now known as Mark Nash, because he want to be passing the mic to everybody else. He's now the new guy on SmackDown, taking over Lillian Garcia. He did
Yeah,
good. He did good in his debut. He does boxing, NFL, NHL for the Vegas teams. So he's known in the streets. And he's from Canada. So him and Chelsea Green can have a Canadian connection.
indeed. Yeah, I don't know if Lillian Garcia, they just decided it wasn't working out. Like,
I think she just left. I
yeah,
saw from what I seen, she just was like, probably
so
not doing it again.
yeah, here's my thing. Like Lillian Garcia is 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She doesn't have to get dragged by idiots on the internet every week.
All
You
right.
know? And that's basically what they were doing. Like it's like this woman is a legend, She's put in her time, like either let her do her job or leave. Screw it. You know what I mean? I feel her. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to put up with that. She came back because they were in a bind, Samantha Irving just rolled out.
All right.
Like,
Yeah,
you know?
crazy.
Yeah. So
Y'all the Porsche down. It's fitting how it ended when like they go on the European tour and she from Spain. And I never knew that until I looked it up. I was like, she from Spain? Wait,
Yep.
hey, makes sense. But now
Yes, got a bunch of
everything
Spanish albums and stuff too. Oh.
same with Kane. That shot me too. Kane from being from Spain. So Kane
Yeah.
from Spain.
Yeah. Yeah. She came from Spain.
And he's gonna choke slam you, man.
Man. Dude, so what do you think about this whole WrestleMania thing that's going on? Like, I've been fighting it, but it looks like they're making the women's match a triple threat. It looks like Punk and
No. That's I think we're
Punk
getting
and
one
Roman.
v one.
You think it's gonna be 1v1? I hope so, man.
Because Capiz, he solved everything, I guess, for now. He said Rhea and Io are going to run it back again
Right.
on Monday on London. So that winner. But we get a little
But
bit of a
Bianca's the
twist.
rep.
Yes.
Yeah, see, so that's what I think.
So what's
Bianca
this?
is good. I think they're all just gonna start fighting. I don't think anybody's gonna win the match. I think Bianca's they're gonna get shitty at Bianca and say, she's not making fair calls or whatever. Somebody's gonna push her. They're gonna push each other. They're gonna mush EO like they have been doing. And then they're just gonna fight, and there's no one's gonna win. I think they're still trying to set up that triple threat, and it makes me the only way I'm cool with that triple threat is if EO wins and wins like decisively. Doesn't win because the two big girls were beating each other up and she takes advantage of it. Like, I want EO to win that freaking match. If not, this whole thing has just been stupid.
It's either that, Io got to win, or Naomi and Bianca got to line together and be like, I understand now, B. Or I understand now, and I understand, girl. That guy worked one of those two ways. It was only two ways it could work. It can't end with Rhea coming back because it was kind of like.
But to me, like I said, if Bianca wins, they could have just kept the belt on Rhea.
All right.
So what was the point of putting EO in this situation where she just gets made to look stupid every week? I mean,
she's like a stiff, like they use it as a stiff arm for the highs and like every like like all right, what's up with that?
Yeah, she's the champ, dude. And Bianca threw her out of the ring like paper and was in the middle. You know what I mean? Like
just do it like it was a sack of potatoes.
There was no point. Rhea should have just beat EO if that's what it was going to be. And then Rio goes into WrestleMania with momentum, having beat the person she's never beat. If you're giving EO the belt and it's not to win this triple threat, then the whole thing was dumb.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Maybe somebody else sees something in it that I don't, but man, I get so tired of EO being disrespected.
That's what we get as conclusion in that, though, because it's been all over the place. It's been like messy, just doing too much. All out of switcherooing.
Yeah.
Speaking of switcherooing, El Grande Americano.
Ray Phoenix.
Or Chad Gable. I don't know. What happened on Friday got me like, huh?
Hey. I'll tell you what, that was the best use of AI.
Oh yeah. The Gulf of America getting in the mix is just hilarious.
People are so bad. And maybe I would be mad if I was Hispanic. I don't know, but I think I would see the humor in it. Like, this guy is a bad guy. Obviously, he's from the Gulf of America. Where else would he be from?
Right. You never heard this luchador before, but he's now from the new place of the Gulf of the Americano. Oh, man. You got. And then he did the most dastardly thing you could do as a luchador. Unmasking the whole man. Wait, man.
Who? Took Dragon League mask. No respect.
None at all. Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
and
man.
then the ankle lock, which took me away. I was like, I was like, all the maneuvers.
Yeah. Well, what he, couldn't defend it because he was trying to cover his face up.
Yeah, I was like, geez Louise.
Yeah, that was wild, man. So what do you think about the possible main event with Roman and Seth and Punk? No, Gunther and Jay.
I thought Royal Rumble winners main evented though. I guess that's very loose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not main event Jay Uso, I guess.
I was like, no, you got the main event today. We going to semi-main event loose? Like, what are you
Yeah,
going to
man,
do? Like, come on.
dude.
But
I'm saying,
with the
do you
Punk
think?
thing, I'm a little shocked. I'm a little shocked it was
Yeah,
main event, but at the same time, the names are the reason why they're main event. That's the only reason why.
yeah,
And I think they want to put Charlotte and Tiffany at the main, but I figure it's not that big of a name for
right.
that. So those are only two that you can kind of say as Royal Rumble winners.
Yeah,
But I knew Punk was going to say that's not the favorite, the main event, which I was a little surprised. And he's like, you deserve it, but it's to win it. He wants to
yeah,
join it one last time on the run to bring back the old days, as a
yeah,
wise say. And it's
yeah.
Seth. Oh my God. I think he passed Drew as the biggest hater of CM Punk. I think Seth got him beat. At least Drew, he was like joke trolling him, like, you ain't making it though. But when he asked me, it's like, oh, it's funny, fella. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So I was like, yes, are you kidding me? This fucking guy made a bet. Are you serious
Oh,
right now? He was about to blow a gasket. I was like,
man.
damn. Oh
Dude,
my
well,
God.
Seth was like,
Really hate.
tried to kill you, you tried to kill me. Like tried to kill each other. Let's do it again. But
And Roman's like, man, who's y'all in this moment? Cause me. Just like, I'm the head of the table.
yeah, of course, Roman Reigns is in the main event. Where else is he going to be? You
No,
know?
I think this might be his 10th one. I think he
Yeah,
passed Hogan. I think
he
it might
doesn't
be his
do
10th.
WrestleManias without. Yeah, he did break the record for the most Mania main events with this. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
no.
so. Yeah. Damn, he did that shit in the last 6 years. Shit.
Yeah, he
Last
doesn't.
decade down there, because I think his first one was with Brock, right? I think
Oh,
that one.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah, so dude, doing this quick session is insane. And it does help the two-nighter though. So that does help. A little.
yeah. They're doing so much extra this year. Like the freaking roast of WrestleMania, then the
Yeah,
old
yo, like what the
buy
fuck is all
tickets.
this? Well, look,
Yeah.
I used to be like, and they got the whole big old store now, or like some
Yep.
convention. I'm like, yo, what is going
World, and
on?
all these outrageous meet and greet prices.
Insane. I'm like,
600 bucks,
bro,
to talk to somebody for 2 seconds and take a picture. Like, man.
right? Like, golly, like, damn.
Yeah, and then
You
you
see
got
the
the
part?
it's like, dude. Yeah. It's
Damn, nigga, we just got our refunds. Damn, y'all ain't want us to spend a quarter of our refund on the fed? Damn. Jeez.
yeah, man. WWE is like we talked
Expensive.
about this, before, but breaking gates isn't impressive when your average ticket price is $1,000. Like, of course you're breaking
Right.
records. Of course you're breaking records.
Right.
Man.
They be gobbling it up though. They be gobbling up like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, jeez, bro. Them prices. I'm glad I went to when I did. They were like a solid price. I don't be
Yeah.
doing anything too crazy. I still want to go to a pay per view where like, or a main roster pay per view where it's like a decent price. Where we ain't got that luck in a while.
Yeah. Go watch TNA, dude. You'll get in there.
Yeah. They don't come up here though. They be trip me out. Don't come past this Dixon line.
Yeah, they mostly do they do some Midwest stuff. They've had some shows in Ohio.
Oh, they can go to Ohio, but they can't go to Maryland. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think that's got a lot of people on their roster from Ohio. Like they've
Makes sense.
yeah.
Stanley
But
and all them.
yeah.
LVE.
OVE, Ohio versus everyone.
Everybody worry about Ohio, but everybody worry about Ohio. But I say that Phoenix, because we did get a Visionette, as you like to say. Uh,
Indeed.
Phoenix making his debut next Friday. That
Okay.
shocked me. I was like, hmm? Do he
People are
got a
gonna.
duplicate?
He looks just like El Grande Americano.
All right. I was like, wait a minute.
And it's the same guy.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
It's El Grande Americano.
They're twins? I was like, they're twins? Oh my gosh. And then they
Gracias.
throw out that he's Phoenix's brother. So is he the third brother of the Lucha Brothers? Oh my god. Jesus.
Man,
Yeah,
I wonder if the rumors about Ray Phoenix not wearing a mask is going to be true.
I
And
don't think so. That'd be weird. That's
yeah,
very weird. I cannot see that because I could just see it and say Animo, and that's what I'm in. I can't see without the mask.
yeah.
Mm.
I don't know, man. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. It's weird that they're on different brands. They're obviously not going to do a Penta Ray Phoenix reunion.
Yeah, I think you want to savor that one for a little while. They want to let them build up each other before they come together. Like, hey, hermano, hermano, and then do a hermano thing.
Yeah. Man, what do
Well,
you think about Braun Breaker and Penta? How do you think that's going to look? Like,
it was
what do you?
looking good. It was looking good until the Judgment Day ruined the daggone fun.
Yeah, but do you think Penta's still? Do you think now he's distracted by the Judgment Day, or do you think he's still going to keep going after Braun? Or
He
how do
should
you
be
think
going
it's
at the Brown because the way he did Dom dirty ass with that steel chair made it seem like I don't want you, amigo.
Oh yeah,
But
he definitely
Finnegan,
does. Yeah,
unless Finnegan keeps interrupting his opportunities,
right. Another
that's
triple
all.
threat.
Triple threat, maybe a
Another
four.
triple threat.
I can see a triple threat probably in the next week or two
Yeah,
between Braun, Penta, and Finn. I can see that, and then it probably build up to like a four-way at best if they want to include Dom, Dirty Self, or Carlito, which he said he want to go for the IC title, which is so random. I was like, you should have been
they were
going
like,
for that,
"He
brother.
did my move."
Like Raquel going for that, so I wanted it too. I'm like, oh my god,
Like he's going to be in Judgment Day. He did my move. No, he's not. He's not.
Yeah.
Did you see,
And speaking of the
JD
judgment,
McDonough's tweet?
hmm?
Did you see JD McDonough's tweet?
Nah, what do you say? What did he say?
He said to Dom, he said, "Man, do you want heat with me? Because if you do, adding another member of Judgment Day is a way to get heat with me.
Way
He,
to
and
keep
when I come
it
back, we'll be at full strength, and that's all we need."
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Way to keep it rocking, JD. You need. Hey, that's what I'm saying. They're missing JD. That's the only thing
Yeah.
they're missing. He ain't get hurt. He's still there trying to kill it and go for the
Yep.
tag titles and all that stuff. He's
So,
still injured.
judging from that, if they do a split, which I mean, we kind of already knew that, but it'll be JD and Finn.
Mm. I guess Carly will be with Dom then. I guess.
Oh yeah, Ali will be with Dom, and Liv will be with Raquel. There'll be the little Hispanic contingent with the little white girl. She'll be
She got a cookout place.
yeah, she'll be Tasha Steeles. She'll be or Tessa Blanchard for Tasha Steeles.
Oh god damn. Throw rock a headband look. Too far for that. Jesus.
Blanchard is a Boricua now.
Oh no. Oh hell no. Oh no.
Yeah,
AMP
man.
will not like that. Or Zelina Vega. Or Zelina. Either them two.
Yeah. Oh man. Damn. Oh, did you see the Maple Leaf Pro? Kylie Ray and Giselle Shaw are going to go at the Maple Leaf Pro Women's North American Championship.
They got tag titles up in there?
No, they did a tournament.
Oh.
And the finals are in May, I think it is. It's May 5th, I think. It's Kylie Ray and Giselle Shaw. And after Giselle won her match, Kylie came out and hugged her and congratulated her and was like, "Me and you in the finals." And then Giselle beat her ass.
Like, come on, girl. How can you really set out to be like, Come on. He said it was coming. Good job,
Yeah,
Giselle. I already
yeah,
know. I don't know a little bit from Giselle, from a little bit of TNA I watched,
right.
but glad you got the aggressionist because she was all smiley baby face. So you need to get
Right.
yourself some ruthless aggression, as Vince McMahon would say.
Yeah, so now it's her and Kylie in the finals.
And it
And
makes sense. She's a baby face.
Kylie's got a thing going on with Wendy Chu too in Evolve.
Mm.
She was giving her presents and writing her letters and stuff. She gave
Mm.
her a teddy bear. I think she wants her to have a sleepover. And Kylie Ray
Oh,
is saying, she's like, I don't understand what this weird girl wants. Like,
he wants to be your friend.
she was like, she cut a promo and she was like, look, I'm happy. I like people, but I don't want to be your friend. You scare me. Like, you don't scare me.
Scary. Yo, what the heck?
Man, I'm saying Evolve is fun, dude.
I'm gonna
I
check it out. I
yeah,
got.
I
I'm gonna check it out.
yeah, watch it on Tubi, man. It's fun. And there's good matches. Sean Legacy and Timothy Thatcher. Shoo.
Mm.
Fire,
Ooh.
dude.
Oh, Thatcher back?
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. Thatcher's back.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Thatcher's back. And they got Crucifino.
I seen
Crucifino.
him a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, man, dude, they should put that guy in the ring more. He's so good.
Yeah, he's cool. He got the lawyer thing going. He needs to
Yeah.
call more cases and get more revenue for the family.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
the family look like it's ready to stacks, man. Oh man.
I wonder what's going on with Stacks, dude. When he stood
Yo.
behind Tony in that vignette,
Yeah.
if
Oh, I was like,
like
no.
freaking give him a wire. I was like, it's good fellas. I'm like, man. Uh,
But he got up and put your hand on your shoulder and said,
uh,
Tony, I got you. I was
uh,
like, no.
Stacks. Come on, man.
Thanks,
Don't,
no, bro.
don't do it. Don't
Damn,
do it.
brother. He was like, I gotta do what we gotta do for the family. By any means necessary. Oh my God.
Man.
They looking right in his freaking eyes. So, I want to look in who eyes. Miss Stephanie V and Miss Parker. How
Oh,
does
yeah.
Stephanie
We're
get
talking about
both?
that next, man. Yeah.
It
And
was
Fallon.
fine. The sequel was not as good as the original, but it was still
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Jordan Grace, you're a
Man.
disgrace.
She's just
Distracted Miss Parker.
everything, dude. I don't, man.
How they smart out of nowhere is crazy because she was not there, and then they just like she's like
Yeah.
right there. Like what the
Now she's just, it's wild, man. You think JC Jane is moving into that spot?
Miss Bob? Which
The challenge for the North American title?
mm, I'm I'm looking like it was gonna be someone else. Like I thought it was gonna be Jordan at first. Made
Right.
keep the double doubles because I think Grace saved Stephanie because they banked her at the end at the end of the show. So I
Yeah.
think it'll be maybe
I just felt
Grace.
I felt like JC Jane kind of led the attack after the match,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
mean, she kind of does. Like she's sort of the leader of Fatal
Yeah.
Influence. So Fallon has the belt, so or
Right.
had the belt. So I thought maybe JC was, and they kind of hinted at it a little bit when Fallon was the champ that JC was a little jealous. So
Mm.
I was thinking they might be. JC can wrestle, dude. That's the thing. Like, not that Jordan Grace can, but I want to see Stephanie in there with some wrestlers for a little while. People who can exchange moves with her and stuff like her and Fallon did. Her and
Right.
Jordan Grace will just be, Jordan chucking her around like she does to everybody, and then see what happens after that. But
Yeah. They always position JC as kind of like, 'cause she's kind of the one that formulated this group. She
right,
kind of brought Fallon in, and then they brought the young Jasmine in. As like the little puppy.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I look at JC as kind of leader.
yeah. Out of these NILs, you're the only one that we like. Come
Yeah,
on
it
in.
was like, all right.
Yeah. Dude, you said you don't watch TNA, but did you see Gigi and Tatum with that win on Metaphor.
Yeah, I did see the NXT is taking over TNA. Man, the
Yeah,
women's division taking over TNA.
yeah,
And
they
I
got
did
that.
see a clip. I don't know if it's already there. That I seen Gigi and Tatum licking, I think, one of Ash by Elegance with
Ash,
a
yeah,
cake.
yeah. I think it was Ash's birthday or something, and they busted in on the celebration and smashed their face in the cake. And then Tatum gave like a little lick, and Gigi like ate that thing off her face, dude. She like, I was like, man,
She a freak, man. I knew it. Man. I knew she was a freak. Man. I know now. I know why Pablo was going crazy for her. She a freak. I understand, Pablo. Understand,
right.
but
But
yeah,
you
she,
know, but that finishing move that they got, dude, that what is it called? Cemetery Drive?
yeah. I think that's what his name. That was a nice. They both do the little things that
Yeah.
Tatum does. That's kind of slick. I like that.
Yeah. Nice, dude. I was impressed. I know they're probably not going to beat Ash by Elegance, but somebody eventually is going to have to win a belt from one of the other companies, or it's too
Right,
predictable, you know?
right. They
But
need to have it at one point.
yeah,
Yeah,
Shotzi's gone. I don't know where Shotzi went.
yeah. I was saying, where Shazzy go? She was with the career. Like she been MIA.
They had the momentum, dude, and then they just pulled them off TV, and then now they brought back Tatum and Gigi as the tag team with no Shotzi. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, they
Wrestling,
do. Yeah, wrestling is weird though. But
yeah, wrestling is weird.
especially that crew that system crew that keeps coming in, not the one from TNA, the other
Oh
from
yeah, what is that
NXT.
called?
I don't the darks. I think darks. It's something
Dark,
dark.
Dark. Yeah, you're right. Dark Show or
Dark
Dark.
something. Dark
Yeah, yeah.
system side. Maybe some one of them things. But I know they
Right.
dark. But they
The
don't
weird
come
thing
when Trick comes out.
is
So
I could
make me think.
Trick is
Trick.
wild. Hey, what if Trick is their leader?
That was made me thinking. That was all I say. That like Trick might be the one orchestrating that thing because every time he's in that, when he's in the ring, they don't go down. When he's not in there, they go down by the attack.
Right,
They back
right.
away. So it made me think.
I think
Trick.
it's funny that they say their names in every promo, and then Vic Joseph says, "We have no idea who these people are." Vic Joseph sucks. He sucks, man. That guy, oh, he makes me
Oh,
so bad. He's so terrible. They just said their names, dude. They literally just said them.
yo, I'm like, Vic, did you just see what they said? Like, you got glasses on too, bro. Like, damn, making me look bad. And the guys
Uh,
was looking bad.
Vic Joseph, dude. Oh, that dude gets on my nerves, man.
That's why Booker goes off what he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like he said, we not friends.
Corey Graves, I feel like Corey Graves is just sitting there like, I'm in hell. Somebody shoot me. You know what I mean? Like he
Corey's
oversells,
like, man, I'm glad I'm just
so
in Florida,
irritated.
man. Corey
Yeah,
like, man, I'm glad I'm in Florida, man. A high
yeah.
wife and I'm in Florida. That's the only thing I'm good over here.
Dude, it's funny because they asked him because they were doing the Ricky Saints thing and how he doesn't belong and whatever. And then Vic Joseph said, Corey, do you ever feel during your career, did you ever feel uncomfortable in a locker room or like you were somewhere where you don't belong? And he said, every single day up till and including today. Oh, that's a shoot. I was like, that's a shoot.
I was like, what the heck? It was hard.
Corey Graves is like, y'all don't want me.
I feel like I'm on an island out here. I'm
Yeah.
drowning. I'm drowning.
And they got rid of his woman.
Oh shit, man.
Great woman. And he's all by himself.
Right. Now you got to deal with egos and shit.
Right, right.
Speaking
But
of
yeah,
egos,
they
is
need.
Chase U coming back? Do you think Chase U's coming back?
Oh,
You
those
think
kids are goofy, man.
no, they came way too late.
Yeah, those kids are. I don't know, man. I've never seen them wrestle, so I don't know if they're good or not. But I know they get on my nerves. They are not Rodney Osborne and Thea Hale and
Indeed.
and
Right.
and
That dude.
that's good. You know what I mean? They're not.
Yeah.
They're Duke. I mean, they're not Duke Hudson. You know, they're irritating. I don't want them around. So
The only time I seen one wrestle was when Trick kicked his ass in like 2 seconds. He like hit him with one trick shot. He was done. I was like, damn, that was it. And I'm like, bruh, who's
but I'm
people out there?
also like, okay, so I talked earlier about the Mark Davis gimmick and how the cycle was too fast. Like you
Yeah.
didn't get to see any of it develop. But this thing with Mr. Chase has been going on for too long.
Why
Like,
you calling this a chase, bro?
well, I have gotten over dead relatives quicker than he has gotten over Chase U
Right.
dissolving.
Right. It's been like a
So,
year,
come
my
on,
G. Like, it's
man.
been like at least 6 months, at least. Like, come on, you can't get over it still. He's still disheveled. He still don't got his. He still is unorganized. Like,
I do like Corey Graves going, this man is drunk. He should not be in the wrestling ring. He's clearly been drinking. Like, that's pretty funny.
he needs he needs coffee, not a wrestling, not a bell whistle. He
Coffee.
needs,
Yeah. That's
he
freaking
needs some
hilarious.
water. God damn, it's something for himself.
Give him a shower. Like, man. But yeah, dude, I would like to have seen. I don't even care if they bring back Chase U now, because Duke is gone, Riley isn't
Right.
involved.
Where
Sia
Riley?
is wrestling house shows. She's not even on TV. These
Yeah.
two kids are goofballs. They get on my nerves. So I really just want Mr. Chase to just start wrestling again. Like, put on a
Yeah,
singlet and wrestle some matches. Like, not a teacher anymore. There's no more school. Just get
right.
over it and go wrestle freaking Sean Spears. Like, but wrestling for real. Like,
Show something different. We need
yeah,
something different from Mr. Chase. We need
yeah.
something different.
I feel like this storyline is taken away from Mr. Chase's wrestling because he's good.
Yeah, he's when he can get in, he can go in for a little minute.
So I don't know. Make your
Yeah,
money, dude, but man, this is frustrating. Frustrating
yeah.
because it could,
Frustrating. It's so frustrating.
yeah, it could be more, man. But
Well, why the brothers ain't working out? Javon, he's trying to put him on game, but he's like, nah, man, we can't be cool, man. We can't be cool. And then he
yeah,
gets popped in the face. It's like,
yep,
man, he
yep.
ever since Eagles messed his job, he's stay getting popped in the face. It's like
Yeah, this
the
happens, man.
Magnum.
Yeah,
Like,
yep.
all right.
Didn't he punch Lexus King?
Yeah, he punched Lexus King.
So
He
he's
got
like, I punch somebody. He's like, everybody's
at least
punching
he
me.
got one.
Somebody. Yeah, I'm about to punch me some Lexus King. But
Yeah,
then, did he wrestle Lexus King for the
yeah.
cup?
I was about to say he did. I was looking at it. He did wrestle, but then
Yeah,
he came in that bit power walking like he was on a mission of destruction, and he
right.
destructed Devon's spine by power on the apron, Kevin Owens style.
Yeah.
And
See,
that
'cause
like that really hurt.
I wasn't
Really.
paying much attention to that match because the thing is, I don't give a crap about Lexus King or Javon Evans. Like, they're both not compelling to me. So I just, I wasn't even paying attention to that match. I was watching it, but I don't remember anything that happened.
Yeah, I just seen over. He came in earlier, was power walking like aggressive earlier in like someone's
Right.
interview, but then he came later during this match and straight. Wow. I was like, and he couldn't wake up to the power 10. It was a count out victory for
For Lexus
Lexus King.
keeping his cup.
Yep.
More Lexus King. We can't get Charlie Dempsey. We can't get Lucas Crucifino.
Nope,
We
no
can't get
stats.
ahead, but we can get more Lexus King. All right.
Yeah. Hey, he Pillman kid. You know what I'm
Because they know
saying?
what people need. They know the people need Lexus King.
Yeah, he said we need our TV king on television every single time we can have him. Yes. But
Keith can
yeah,
be. This guy has no charisma, dude. There's nothing that he does that makes me want to watch him. It's like he just sucks.
His freaking his at least his shape up is a little straighter.
Energy out of me. I just
His
man.
shape up is crazy. His shape will be crazy. His line be crazy. I'll be like, what the his line be tripping me out. Cause I'm like, bro.
You missed the spot.
Now he trying to get the zigzags like it's lightning. That's the thing about it. He trying to do that. And I'm like,
yeah, I used to do that in the freaking early 2000s. I used to shave lightning bolts into my sideburns, man.
That's what I say. That's some 2000 stuff. Cause I saw that growing up. I was like, what the hell? They did that in the hair and the beard. I used to see some people doing the hair too. I was like,
oh yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, yeah. I used to shave like my nipples in the side of my head, and then like little lightning bolts. But I got that from Aries, from Kevin Smith on Hercules and Xena. Because if you go back and watch that, dude, he would always shave weird shapes into his facial hair, and I thought it was super cool, man. So I was like, it's like I'm gonna be like that dude and freaking.
But, sounds bad.
Yeah, it's over, Lexus King. You don't. Maybe there's huge Lexus King fans out there, and if there is, hey, good for y'all. But the dude is not for me.
He's loving Ohio. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I saw that he did an interview where he talked about how crazy it was when they filmed the thing with Stone Cold coming in their house and his dad pulling out the gun and everything.
I know. He was probably like, what the heck, Stone Cold?
A little kid, dude. He was probably, this is wild.
And then he saw blinkers out. Oh, shit.
Can you imagine, dude? Like, oh, you like a little baby.
Like he was
like 5 or 6, and like Stone Cold.
Stone Cold Steve Austin breaking out. I was like, come here. Where the hell's your father at? Where the hell is he at? I want that son bitch.
And he's like, I got something for you. Big ass Magnum.
That was insane. I was like, what?
The Attitude Era was nuts. Didn't somebody burn somebody's house down on AEW?
Oh, it was Mr. Hangman Page bringing Swerve's house down.
Man.
Burning that thing down. And he had a whole sip of brewery of his little bourbon.
Oh, man. Wow.
That was
started watching, dude, but
Hangman, you did bring up Hangman story. They did go face to face a little bit because Hangman said, I want to cost Swerve that title. I vow he shan't win that title again.
Yep.
And Chris Knight focusing him back like, get back, bro. Get back, boss. You don't worry about that boy.
Prince Nana out there dancing.
Yeah.
Nana has been around forever, dude. Ring of Honor. You know what I'm saying? He's been around forever. Just dancing. You know, having embassies. It's freaking cool, man.
Yeah, I like how he did how about Swerve get up to the mix, and now they are going for the title. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing Swerve has had a plan.
Yeah.
Good thing he had Willow in the mix. He even odds with Willow and Marina Shafir. And now that means this big tag match this coming Wednesday, juicy, between Swerve and Willow.
Yeah.
And Mox and Marina. Finally.
Dude, what do you think about this 6-man title match?
Oh, the White Tea Combat Club and Red FTR.
Yeah. Top guys out. No. Red FTR out.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, Dad. I was like, damn, it feels like a lot of tag teams breaking up recently, bro. It feels like it feels like it, bro. Like the last 5 months in both companies. Yeah. Like we about to see a lot of like heartbreaks from both bloodline, the bloodline 2.0.
Yeah.
To the Acclaim breaking up. Looking like the Fan about to break up with the D'Angelos. Like that.
Bobby Lashley's a racist. You see that?
Wait, what?
Bobby Lashley's a racist, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He was like, "You
So what
sure
the
you
hell,
want this guy in here?"
like, I mean, that's how I took it. That's how I took it. It's
Yeah,
like,
I never heard of it that defended. Damn.
that's how I took it.
But Sheldon had to bring it back. Like, no, that's his reputation, right? You know how he
Yeah,
is. I
yeah.
like him. He's a slimy guy. I
He's
don't
like,
know. I
to
don't
work for
trust
us.
him, Key.
He's like, let's put a pin in this.
Right. Like,
Uh,
hold up.
MJF was like, what is going on? I thought I was in the crew. He was like, what happened? It's like when you bring your nerdy white friend to the cookout. It
Who
was like,
finally got a tan at the last second to try to save this, just make
brother,
himself at least palatable.
I got to tell you a story, man. So I had a black friend, really, really close, dude, like a brother to me.
Yeah.
And one day I was hanging out at his house, and his uncle stopped by.
Yeah.
And, James, I need to talk to you out in the hallway. James goes out the hallway, and he comes back, and James was like, Keith, I got to talk to you. I was like, all right, what's up? And my uncle was just like, what do you have this white man doing around your family? And I was like, what? And he was like, so just be cool, man. He'll figure out that you're cool. Just go out there and just be cool. And he was like, but my uncle doesn't like white people. And I was like, damn, dude. We ended up having a couple drinks and talking. And he was like, man, I didn't know how good of friends you were with James. You're a good dude. And I was like, well, thanks, man. But, dude, it was uncomfortable for a minute.
That's how I mean. The uncomfortable for like the first moments, and then it got something that break the ice, and then everything's all copacetic. Unless
Yeah.
that's how I think that's how it is for all of us when we like encountering white folks, because like we gotta be sure, like, are you valid? Because there's a lot of people that be like, we cool,
Dude,
and then they switch up.
like, that was wild. He was like, my uncle asked me what I had this white man doing around my family. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just chilling, man. I'm hanging out. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
But
straight out with him. He won't give a fuck. Be like, the fuck this month in our house for?
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
It was
so
nuts.
that's tough.
I'm being cool because I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, you valid. Exactly, you valid.
yeah,
Yeah, how you
yeah,
got a null group is insane, but we will let we go with that. You valid. So,
yeah, it was wild. But anyway, Bobby Lashley's a racist. No, I'm just
yeah, he's like, I don't know about this kid, Jack. You sure he's valid? He's like, I'm
yeah.
sure of you. Like, we'll see.
Even like, I don't know. He was like, I don't want him hanging out with us. He was like,
Got a
MJF.
reputation. He has
Yeah,
a reputation.
he's the devil, right?
Yeah, he keeps being that little devil thing. He even hit it up when he came out.
Yeah,
He's like, "Yeah, I'm the devil, bitch." I was like, "Oh my god."
you know, that's what he is. MJF, the devil. Don't wrestle. Don't wrestle ever anymore. Just comes out and cuts promos. But at least he's on TV.
And curse out a city every once in a while. Call him
Yeah.
Hicks. They call him Hicks and all that crazy stuff. Well, speaking of ops,
Yeah. The ops. The ops.
yeah, I like how Joe just choked out on Matt's cast. It was funny. Holla will like that because he's light skinned brothers being not bad, but
Max Caster has a plaque that says he is the best wrestler in the world.
Oh, that plaque gets dirty by the week. It's getting dungy, dirty, and it's getting so smelly. I could just smell it from the TV screen.
Best wrestler in the world, man.
Man, someone gonna throw that into the incinerator one day and be like, "Best wrestler what?" Someone looked at straight at that one day and said, "Best wrestler at what?" Get out of here, sir.
It was funny because the setup for that was funny when Hook was like, "Yeah, man, I'm having fun." He's like, "Fun? What?
Like,
it's fun?" You're like, serious, man. Go to war, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Well, Samoa Joe don't have fun, man. That's not what he does. He just chokes people out.
And then once he finally got the choking out of him, he was like, "It was fun. Yeah, I understand what you mean." Cass was so too. So he's like, "Hey, Shibata, what are you doing here?" Yeah, it took me out. I was like,
so I'm about to bake some bread.
well, "Hey, Shibata, what you about to do?" And then, he just get choked out. I was done. I was like, "Bro, that was good time."
What's it that did that brainbuster onto the top turnbuckle?
Oh, that should be nasty. I'll call that the Fletcher killer because he'll make you, because that makes your body twitch. No,
man, I saw that. I was like, whoa, that was serious, man. Good Lord.
I remember he did the first one. I was like, God damn, I ain't never seen. It was wicked. I was like, he went around his neck, head, and everything. I said, and Brody's a big dude. That's a big motherfucker. It's a big ball. He got the window. Way to get out.
Bro, so why do you have a crew and you're going out and wrestling a member of the Callis family and your crew doesn't come with you?
I don't know why he was not thinking that either. I guess Buddy's still with Ridge. And then Julia, I don't know what Julia be doing. Julia be doing old things. Julia be doing old things. She be like haunting bitches. That's all she do. She haunt bitches and then miss them in the face.
Yeah.
And say the house always wins.
Josh Giddey has 22 points and 10 rebounds right now. Just throw that out there.
Oh shit, the Giddler.
Yep. The Giddler.
I see
it. Oh man, bro.
Yo, I see that, bro. I was like,
oh that's too much. I don't want to give my opinion on that situation.
It's a tricky situation because it's like it's one of those ones where you think it is what it is, but then once you find out it ain't what it is, it's kind of like.
I mean, she was 17 and he was 19.
Yeah, it's very like.
And she was his
to a club.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not dude.
Right. It's not as crazy. It's like 2 years. 3. Yeah. And then it's found out.
People were like, Josh Giddey talking to a 14-year-old girl. That was not what it was, dude. It wasn't just some random chick who he DM'd. It was his girlfriend. And she was 17 and he was 19. And maybe I don't know if they were dating before that. You know what I mean? Like, they could have been together for a little bit. Like, sometimes you're dating someone in high school and the ages cross a little bit and you're an adult when she's not for a couple years or whatever. That shit. Dude, I don't feel it's just like the Swerve Strickland thing. You know what I mean? Wasn't it Swerve Strickland? You yoke up your girlfriend in a headlock. You know,
I think it was Rich. No, it was Rich. It was Rich.
Oh, Rich Swann, my bad. Rich, it's just a Rich Swann thing, dude. And by the way, Rich Swann has been sober for good for him, dude. He be posting his certificate every time he hits a milestone, man. Good for him. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Rich Swann for that. Good.
I feel like Rich Swann doesn't deserve a chance. Don't understand what happens in relationships sometimes, and don't see the work that he's putting in. But anyway,
perfect, right?
Yeah, yeah. Until you've never done a single thing wrong, you know.
Right. Long ain't murderous.
He didn't hit her in the headlock. You know what I'm saying? He put his headlock and took her back to the car, which is, I mean, that's not kidnapping. It's technically kidnapping, but that is not kidnapping. He's like, come on, man, we need to go home, you know? and you know, it may not have even been a headlock. Like, there's different situations. He might have just picked her up, you know?
Right. He might have picked her up and said, come here, girl, let's go.
Abuse. That's the opposite of abuse. That's like, I need to get this chick out of here and I don't want to hurt her. Right. So I'm just gonna grab her up. You know what I mean? Come on, dude. And now he's an alcoholic and abuser, even though he's been in AA for a minute now, a good minute. And like I said, I feel like he just diffused the situation. He didn't kidnap nobody. Like, And I feel the same. Like Josh Giddey, dude, I guess if you want to be like the super most morally strict person on earth, then he did something wrong. But
Right.
dude, if you turn 18 and your girlfriend is 16, and you turn 19 and your girlfriend is 17, and y'all have been dating for a little bit, you are not a pervert. That is your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, come on. I'm sorry, dude. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are going to come at me, but whatever.
It's not as bad as long as it's within at least 3 years. At least
Yeah, it sounded like he was
minimum is 3. The
It
minimum.
sounded like they were in high school together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was a girl in his high school who he started dating. Like, stupid. Once I really looked into the research of it, I was like, people are idiots. That's why he didn't get in trouble. It's just dumb.
Yeah, people just want outrage for outrage.
Yeah, people just want to wild out for no damn reason.
Sick as bored. And they want some titties in their mouth. And speaking of tits, I want Thunder Tits as a name that could be branded and advertised for years to come.
Man, the fact that Thunder Rosa, every time she did a move, was like, Thunder Tits! Was oh, that was
like, but the main event was thick as hell.
Yeah.
Penelope Ford, Megan Bain versus Thunder Tits.
Man,
It's a thick ass main event.
Ford is something, man. I'm glad she's getting some shot finally, dude. But
listen, man.
Yeah.
She a freak too. You know, man. She like looking faces. I'm like, damn, girl.
Yeah, I would.
She like all on the posters paint. I was like, oh, you freaky, girl. You real nice.
I'd hang out with Penelope Ford for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was like,
no offense to Kip Saban, because he could probably whoop my.
Hey, you probably love that shit. You probably like that licking shit. Yeah. But the biggest surprise, Miss Bay, hitting the world champion.
Yep,
that gas me.
And now, under normal circumstances, I would say that means she's going to lose at is it Revolution or Dynasty?
Dynasty.
I would think that she's going to lose at Dynasty, but in AEW, it don't mean nothing. You know what I mean?
No.
It don't mean nothing, man. She could still come out. They could be building her as a dominant champ. I think pulling the plug on Toni Storm again would be weird, but it's weird that they're already giving Megan Bain a title shot as it is, you know?
Yeah, they should have built us up a little bit. They could have it could be Chris. I would have given it to Owen. If they wanted to really build her, give it to Owen and shit like that. Let her
But if they needed somebody to wrestle Toni Storm at the pay-per-view, it could have been Chris Statlander, it could have been Penelope Ford. You know what I mean? Having Megan Bain's little minion.
Yeah.
Having it be right out of the gate, Megan Bain is weird. Where do you go from there? And that's the problem for AEW. Do they even think about it? Are they like, where do we go from here? You know, you gotta take steps.
You gotta think of the different scenarios that could occur before say, hey, don't do that.
Yeah, wrestling steps. It's about building things. It's not about just throwing stuff out there, you know, unless you don't know what the hell you're doing.
That's what a lot of people say right there. They're like, what the hell y'all niggas doing? So,
yeah. But yeah, I'm saying NXT was good. AEW was surprisingly pretty good this week. Raw, oh man, John Cena. We didn't even talk about how John Cena's going to take the belt and retire forever because we showed him how much that belt means to us.
That damn Cena, he is embracing all this. He's like, I want to. He doesn't want us to have any joy. He's like, I gave you joy for so long.
You didn't appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to take it for myself.
Yeah.
I am going to do whatever I want to do with it.
Yeah.
Fun time with it.
Interview with the little Brussels kid, and he said John Cena will always be his hero.
Aw.
Yeah, he said he don't care that John Cena called him out. He said he'll always be his hero.
Aww. That's a little Cena. That's a little C Nation right there.
Yeah, I understand why he hates me. I did bad.
He's valid in his feelings. I get
Yeah.
it, John. I get it.
Needs a hug, man. Just needs a hug. Cody Rose said, "You whiny bitch."
He still calls him a whiny bitch.
Man. Cody
Stop
Rhodes is
with
I'm gonna curse every chance I get. Like,
For the next 4 weeks, he's gonna keep calling him a whiny bitch. He's whining
yeah,
too damn much, John. Way too much.
man.
No.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Now it almost feels like Cena has to win. And then
Right.
who's gonna stop him from retiring with the belt? You know?
Yeah, it has to lead the wars. If
Yeah.
he gonna go all the way with it, John, go all the way with it and be a mean, bitter, nasty, disgusting heel.
Yeah,
Like
and he's gonna
tear like a kid having seen a hat. Give me that hat. I'll pay. Give me that hat, little man. Give me that.
you dress like me.
Ah, this mine. No, this is mine. Mine. Kid. Fuck
Yeah,
your
you
money.
come back with Flair.
This is
Man,
mine. I'm the reason why you have this on your life. I'm the reason why.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. Car. Oh. I think remember when Spectre was talking about car? He just
yeah,
took off. Oh,
yeah,
woo.
nice.
He 59-58 Michigan State. They in a tight one.
Oh man.
Ole Miss is about the 3. Took the lead again.
Right on. Yeah, dude, that
Back and forth.
Troy Cleveland game was wild last night.
Yeah, Detroit keep shocking the world, man.
Two of our best players were out and we still won the game, man.
I don't know
It's
how
the
y'all
best,
doing, man.
best
Shocking the way nation.
yeah. Yeah, man.
And ESPN just want to talk about LeBron all the time. Like I swear to God, like the last month,
We're gonna
I've
go
been just
profile on Bronny James, profiles on
yes.
James, like, man,
It's like, bro, there's more than just Bron, man. More
you
than
know,
just Bron. Come
cool
on.
that he's gotten better, but where are the Lakers in the standings, man? Are they even like,
They in the
oh,
playoffs.
yeah.
They in
I
the
figured,
top 5
yeah,
at
okay.
least. They're in the
I know
top 5.
the Knicks just clinched the last spot in the East.
Yeah. The East was a blowout. You
Yeah.
only had the 6 guys in the top East that's over 5. Everybody else is like blowing. So the East.
Yeah. The East has always been like that, dude. The East,
Oh,
the West has always been like where all the top teams are, except for Chicago, but like it's always been Chicago against the West, like back in the 90s. It was always Chicago
right.
against the whole damn West because nobody else in the East could compete with the teams in the West. But now, I mean, at least that's
East.
the perception. But the thing was, the East played better defense. It was more of a defensive league or a defensive conference. So
They had a little stretch like from '08 to like 15, but it was pretty good and decent. Like they had like the Celtics, the Heat, Magic, and they was living the White, Chicago, Atlanta. They had a little stretch was good
yeah,
for it.
I mean, it's definitely more. It looks better than it did back in the day. But I remember the '90s, man. Like people were always like, "Oh, the East sucks." Everybody always thought the East sucked just because like the games would be 70-56. Like
Yeah, yeah,
but,
them scores in the back of the day used to be nasty.
yeah, scores in the '90s in the East were sick, but that's because they were beating the hell out of each other. Like couldn't nobody score. And we didn't
Right.
have, they didn't have, they had Shaq sometimes, but they didn't have like an Akeem Olajuwon or a Kareem who was down low, freaking getting in.
Yeah. Yeah, the East is mainly they are defensive because I can't think of a lot of big men out the West. All the big men out the West. They don't never really hit in the East except Kareem, which but then he went out West. So they
Yeah.
all and then outside Patrick, yeah, that's about it. Patrick ain't no
Yes.
time. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
about it for real.
But if you look at the Knicks, they didn't do they didn't play like the Jazz. or like the Heat or the Rockets. I mean, where like, you work it down inside to the big man, or where you pass it to the big man. They worked. You know what I mean? That was the difference. The Eastern Conference centers worked for their shots, dude. They muscled people around like Shaq. It was bullying. It was pushing. It wasn't that I think it's going to cut and we're going to dish it inside. And it was freaking working in the post and dribbling it in and fucking turnarounds. It was different.
Fucking power moving and shit.
Yeah, the East has always been more. Well, back then, I don't really watch. I watch the Pistons. I don't watch a ton of like other teams, but until
a lot of hoisting. It's a lot of hoisting. Let's say that. It's a lot of hoisting threes. Let's just say that.
Yeah. But back in the day, like the Eastern Conference was all about power and defense. Just how it was, and then the West was running and gunning, freaking fast breaks and dishing it to the inside and fancy passes, and whereas like Chuck Oakley will punch you in the face. Right. Like, oh, you're about to shoot? Bam!
Right, yeah, freaking flattened by Rick Mahorn and shit.
Right, exactly, dude. Exactly. Robert Parrish literally punching Bill Laimbeer in the face.
Yeah. I see one where I think Bird gave I think Bird gave somebody a toothpaste like pam pam real quick.
Oh, dude, that was Robert Parrish. What happened was Bill Laimbeer kept on fouling him and like being dirty, and they weren't calling it. And so he was like, "Look, next time they get the ball to Laimbeer, leave the lane open. Let me be isolated with him." And Laimbeer came down and went up for his shot, and right when he jumped up, Parrish was like, "Bam, bam!" Freaking knocked his ass out. That's ridiculous, man. He freaking that was wild.
That was freaking hilarious, bro. Yo, and I was like, what the hell happened?
Parrish was so mad. He was like, I was getting so mad. They weren't calling anything. So I was just like, man, let him come down.
No, I know what it was. It was Larry Bird and Dr. James. I think it was like to throw hands, like, what's good? Like, let's go. What's good? And I think Barney was holding Larry back so that he could get some shots. That was one of those crazy fights. I'm like, yo. He was doing whatever back in the day.
Yeah, dude. It wasn't nothing for a fight to break out. For sure. Even if a fight wasn't breaking out, like people were getting knocked on the floor. People were getting hammered, dude. Like, just beat the hell. They literally came up with special defensive rules to beat people up. Hack-a-shack. You know what I mean? Every time, bam, hit his ass. Like, man, they don't do stuff like that anymore. But,
Well, they do the hack of Giannis. Still do hack of Giannis because Giannis ain't good. But the non-good free throw shooters, they do that still. So that still is an element brought. Like DeAndre Jordan when he was bad, the Whites.
You know what I mean? You still like when you would do flagrant fouls in the 90s, you were legitimately trying to take somebody out of the game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a Karl Malone fan because I think he was a dirty player. But there was one time when he broke Dave Robinson's ribs. Because he was driving and he went up for the dunk and Dave Robinson went to block him. And when Dave Robinson went to block him, he brought his knees up right into his rib cage. Yeah.
How did you get your knees up on a regular dunk? What the fuck?
Dirty, dude.
I think like, this man's 6'9". I'm like, what?
Dirty.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But like I said, now everybody's got big contracts. Nobody wants to hurt anybody. And nobody
can pay.
They play a lot softer now than they used to. And I mean, whatever. I don't want Casey getting beat up anyway. So
that's a good thing that they kind of move away from the rules because we never see some snap in the face. It have not been pretty.
Right. Well, shoot, this is a wrestling podcast. So we got any more wrestling to talk about before we hop out?
I say the last thing. Are we leaning towards a bloodline breakup between Jacob and Solo? Do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah, I think it's inevitable. I think that. See, the thing is, so one of two things always happens in wrestling. Whenever they make something super obvious, it just happens. It's like, but then the other thing is they pull a swerve on us sometimes. But But I feel like Jacob is probably gonna leave, or kick Solo out, one or the other.
Talks about doing that thing.
And still got to show up, right? And don't they still have a couple people waiting?
Yeah, he still got. I think Zilla, man. There's Zilla and like Hikaleo, tall one. Yeah, tall. Yeah, the tall.
Yeah.
And then, last but not least, Damian Priest finally gets his payback in an emphatic fashion, choke slamming that poor guy whose car. First, he had to go through hell first, that first guy. And then he put Drew through that daggone windshield. I'll be pissed off on that guy because I got put through a table. Then windshield? Got to get a new windshield? That man did not have a good night. He had a horrible night. I know he's pissed. But at least Damian got his payback. Finally. Took a while.
Yeah. They sent him to WrestleMania? Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre?
It's looking like it.
Right on.
Drew said, okay, glass in my eye. Okay, glass in my eye. I'm like, how do you get glass in your eye, man? You didn't go face first.
I wonder if he's going to wear a pirate patch. Oh,
he got to.
Oh, man.
He has to. He's like, damn it, that bastard. I think it was a right eye. Yeah, he got right like a pirate.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. So then he will definitely, because they work on the left side, so he'll still see what's going on. That makes perfect sense, dude. They set it up. So he's wearing a patch over his eye. That's awesome. He's gonna be a pirate. I wish I could watch SmackDown.
That's on TV. It's on TV. I don't still on USA. It's on US. That's the only way it's still on USA.
Yeah, but I can watch the little 1 hour version that they've got on Hulu. But
man,
irritating. And
they turn it on.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to go on Netflix so I can watch it. Actually see the whole thing. But
I can see them going moving SmackDown Netflix too. I can low key see that happen. Only if they loving the numbers over here with Raw. I can see that.
It's already overseas. It's already on Netflix overseas. So probably happen eventually.
Inevitable.
Yeah, inevitable.
That's the thing I got to say about it.
Gimmick, man. The inevitable.
Yeah. Streaming is inevitable.
The inevitable Jake. I don't know.
That's about it.
Yeah, man. But I had fun, dude. This has been a good time laughing and cutting up and talking about wrestling.
Yeah, it was good. Spectre came through. He was good. Chilo everything from movies from his filming activities to his
basketball, wrestling. Yeah,
basketball.
AR5,
old school.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we touched on everything, man.
Oh yeah.
Bo did his research during the interview.
Yeah, I did a little research. Little in the middle and
made it good, man. Made it good, man. Right on.
Tough. Rocket. Oh, yeah.
Right on. All right, man. So, D-Lo Show, where can you catch it?
You catch us on SoundCloud, Podbean, YouTube, and we're splashing the Spotify too. Spreading the Spotify.
Hell yeah.
We're spreading everywhere.
I got Most Excellent Entertainment, drops every Tuesday, 5 in the morning on YouTube and Spotify.
5 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, man, we drop it at 5 so that people can listen to it on their ride to work. Yeah, dude, I did a whole bunch of research on podcasts, man. So I'm not going to get into it on the air, but I did a bunch of research on the best time and the best day and the best length for a podcast and all this stuff. So it's all, yeah.
I was thinking of that T-Pace song. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Conversation got boring. I don't know what you get into. So I got a podcast for you to tune to. And you can bring it that one.
Nice. That's what's up. See? T-Pain knows.
The intro. The
intro, dude. I should hit him up and see if we can use it.
All right.
Man, I'm also producing a movie called Swipe Right. It's on Indiegogo. It's just about, the first campaign is just about wrapping up. But man, if people could throw me a couple bucks Everything helps, man. Throw me a couple dollars or share it or something. It's going to be a really good movie. It's a romantic comedy crossed with a horror movie, crossed with slapstick. It's going to be fun and unique. And man, I really, really want it. I mean, I'm making the movie regardless, but any help that can be given, it's great. Appreciated.
Horror. Wait, a horror romantic comedy?
Yeah, with slapstick too, dude. Like people
that's a new genre.
falling over. It's funny. That's the main thing. It's super funny, dude. The horror is kind of low key, you know, but but it's mostly like the comedy is amped up, dude. But it's also it deals with a lot of real life stuff too.
Modern dating,
exactly, dude. Yeah,
that's what I felt. You just swipe right. I'm thinking,
right,
and all that stuff.
It's with a lot of modern dating and relationship issues, but it's set in the world of serial killers and whatnot. So I'm actually going to give the twist away a little bit so people can get interested and give me some
twist. Any little tease. If you need after, I can hop in and.
Right on, brother. Hey, man, if you want to come down here and get killed, we need some.
Get killed.
We need some victims, man. So, right on.
I'll take the risk.
Hell yeah. All right, everybody, man, this has been a good time. Thank you so much, D-Lo. Thank you, Spine Shattering Spectre. Thank you, everyone who's watching. Thank you, Tyler Martin and Emmy Studios. And we don't know what the name is anymore, but I'm going to call it
Round Table in the Midwest, sir.
Man. Round Table Wrestling in the Midwest. We'll see y'all next. Thank you so much.